from 9 years ago when you're at university, buddy. Those
Literally
pictures of you.
pictures from now. And no,
Huh?
I'm not fat.
Well, no,
Sugar, I've
you're
seen you
not fat. You're
naked.
just okay. Let's say you're not in the state to be calling yourself a fitness expert. You're not. You doing 30 push-ups isn't some grand like feat, right? JJ can do 30 push-ups, right? And if he can do it,
JJ cannot do 30
he
push-ups.
can. We've all
He
heard him do
can.
it, right?
Yeah,
He
he's
can.
done
We've
it.
heard him do
He's
it,
done
When have
it.
we
right?
ever
So
seen
it's
JJ do
it's like
30
an
push-ups?
achievement now to do like 30 push-ups.
It
Like
is
on
Yes.
for a
bodybuilder
health and
level.
fitness expert. Apparently, that's an
What
achievement.
the fuck?
Okay,
Another thing
raise
that's
your hand
I
right
really
now and do
dislike about
30
Sugar is
push-ups.
that he's really fucking dumb. I don't know if any of you noticed, but
if you take anyone
Sugar's
who's
really
paid
fucking
like me,
stupid and gets stuff wrong all the time. Yeah, it's just anything else on here?
like literally anyone that has ever practiced any sport, right? Like even someone who does golf can do like 20 push-ups no problem, and somehow like the requirement for a
Not true.
bodybuilder or an
30
expert
push-ups is
is
hard
30.
to do.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
It's
Sugar, if
hard
you
for
think
Gus
30
to do.
push-ups.
It's hard for many people to do, but not if you're a fitness expert,
Right,
right?
not if you're
Like
a self-admitted diet and fitness expert who is at
Hey,
the
let's
peak.
get on cam and do a
Let's get to
push-up
see
contest right
the
now.
peak
Oh, that's
Oh
right.
my
You
god.
guys
peak
don't get on
Oh
cam.
my
peak
god.
physical
pussy.
Sugar.
Oh my god.
Sugar, you claim to be in peak physical condition. You're not.
no,
Ray,
you're
you
not.
won't even show your face on
You-
video cam. What's
All
up
right,
with
You're not.
that, Ray?
sugar. Hold on, sugar.
What's a
Sugar.
video count?
Let's just end this, right? Let's just end
Ray,
this.
how
I've seen
hideous and grotesque
sugar,
do you have to be to
sugar,
not show your face
sugar,
on video?
sugar. I've seen Ray.
You're ugly.
I've seen Ray recently.
On video
He's
camera.
he's extremely
I'm a
fucking buff.
beast.
I've seen you, sugar, completely naked. I've seen your dick and your heart-shaped pubes. I've seen it, and
Oh
you
my
look to
gosh,
me like
no. No.
I've
Heart-shaped
seen
pubes.
all of you, sugar. I've seen all of you. I've seen your girlfriend. I watched your girlfriend wriggle around on the floor naked like a fish. Right? I've seen all of it. Right? You're not a bad-looking person, sugar, but you're
Thank
not
you.
in shape in any way, shape, or form. Right?
Oh,
You're not a
You're a fatty
bad-looking
little
guy.
fat
You got
fuck,
a,
buddy.
this is
you
ridiculous.
got a nice face. You got a nice face. Right? You're not fat, but you're not
Thank
fit
you.
either. You're like a
Not fat.
guy. You're like a guy who maybe 10 years ago was probably in shape and hasn't done anything since then but sit around and eat falafel. Right? That's the body that you have.
Okay, this is ridiculous. And not fat is the important part.
Wait
No,
a
you're
minute.
not
Can
fat.
can we
But
please go back to the heart-shaped pubic hairs?
yeah, he I'm not going to comment on his penis, but he had his pube shaved into the shape of a heart. It's
Was
actually
it
kind of cute.
diseased? From what you
Oh
could see,
my
was it
god.
diseased, Kathleen?
Oh
No,
my
it just looked like a
gosh.
penis with some
Who the
manscaped pubes.
What
fuck
the fuck?
shaves their pubes into a heart shape?
But
That
there's
is
an
the
interesting
fucking
duality, right? Because so,
saddest.
but wait, just this is an incredibly important like detail. So the hair shaped as a heart, was it above his dick so
Yeah.
that like okay, so so it's like a reflection of his ball sack, right? Is that
It
the
was
idea?
his pubic region. It was above
So
his
it probably
where
looked
your
like a
pubic hair
heart
goes.
with a little arrow going through it and his little penis sticking out in the middle like
Yeah,
an
yeah.
arrow.
And then
Oh
there's another
my
heart,
gosh.
which is his ball sack.
Oh wow.
Sugar has an interesting way of grooming his pubes, and he had a cute penis.
Oh, no, we stop talking about pubes, please. Oh no, man. This is a man who has a heart-shaped pubic hair. We're not done with this.
I mean, look, I'm not saying that Sugar's ugly. He's not, right? I'm just saying, Sugar, you're not like ripped. Ray is ripped. I could see every muscle in
Yeah, you
Ray's
can.
body.
Right, and the
Right?
veins.
Every fucking muscle.
Mhm.
I've never claimed that. I've never
Right.
claimed to be currently ripped. Good
Don't
for
even work
Ray.
out.
Great
It's
for Ray. Good
genetics.
for
But
Ray.
no, Sugar, what you said was you are in peak physical condition.
No,
Now,
if
what
I
that
ever
would
said that,
entail,
I'm not in peak.
someone
I
who
was
is in
once
peak physical condition, what that would entail is when they took their clothes off. I wouldn't, when I think of someone in peak physical condition, I don't think of a bodybuilder. I don't think of people with massive muscles. I think of a toned body. slightly tanned,
Yeah.
where I can see the pecs defined. They could probably jiggle them a little bit. You know, they got nice calf muscles. You know, the biceps are there. You know, that's what I think of when I think of someone in peak physical condition.
I agree. I agree. I have never. If there's some. If I gave the impression that I was in peak physical condition,
Well, that was what you said.
2 years ago,
That's
I was
what you said.
2 years
You
ago, I was
say
in
it all
peak
the
physical
time.
condition.
No, you
I did
say
not
it all
ever
the
say that. No,
time.
this is nonsense.
Oh, really? So now you're backtracking on that,
You also
Mike.
said you were the fittest person
Congratulations.
on the server.
Yeah, you did.
Obviously, Zaximus. There are many other fitter people.
Now, Sugar, let me
I think
explain something to you.
I actually think that I'm actually more fit than you are, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, that's what I was getting ready to say, because Sugar, this is what I know about myself. Right now, I smoke. Right, I smoke fairly regularly, and there's not a single physical thing that I can do on a decade's worth of estrogen and 2 years of starving myself. There's not a thing that you can do that I couldn't do better. Right, not a single thing.
I think I'm faster.
No, you're not going to be faster than me. Even so, I would outrun you smoking a cigarette.
You think in a 40-yard dash you'd beat me?
I would beat you in anything.
Wait,
You know
Kathleen, how tall are
why?
you? How tall are
I'm
you?
5'5".
What?
Still taller than me.
Manlet.
I would
Okay, you're
probably
a
take
midget.
Kathleen.
Yeah, but look, we're not talking about you guys taking me. We're talking about Sugar taking me. And the reason that I know that
No,
Sugar
I
can't
said
do
I would take
anything.
you. I mean, I would take you
Oh,
in the race to beat.
Like when I see Sugar's
you would
body,
take.
I'll look at like the first thing that I can think of is like gelatin. That's what I think of like
Yeah, well,
pudding.
that's like,
You know, just like
I exercise on a regular basis, right? I don't go to the gym because I got my own at the house, right? Now, Sugar, I'm not saying that I don't have body fat, right? Because I take estrogen, so I've got body fat. But even with my body fat, you can make out lines in my stomach. I mean, look, there's me, right? That was like a month ago,
that was
right?
a gaslight.
Now, your stomach doesn't look like any of that. It doesn't look like any of that.
Yeah, my
Yeah, but the thing is
looks
that
more ripped than yours.
the thing is that Sugar doesn't. I mean, he doesn't have a bad looking body. It just gives me the impression that there's like no firmness
There's
to
no
it, that he's
definition.
just
Yeah,
soft.
there's no definition at
It's
all.
like you just put your finger through it and it goes through like a fucking pillow, you know? That's like what I
Yeah,
think of.
and I think like
I
if
imagine that his bones are like fucking soft for some reason. That's like the impression it gives me.
I think that if like I asked Sugar to lift up 50 pounds, he could probably do it once or twice. Right? Like if Sugar came out to my farm, right, and like so tomorrow we're going to throw hay bales. Right now I think Sugar could throw hay bales for about 5 or 10 minutes. And after that, he's going to be so physically exhausted that he's not going to be able to move. Meanwhile, you know,
Throw up.
the smoker, is going to be sitting there smoking cigarettes and tossing them for 4 or 5 hours. Now, why is that, Sugar? Why is that? Maybe it's because you don't exercise at all, because you haven't done
Okay, so
anything
this
since
was
college.
from. We all know that last weekend my girlfriend came visit me for 4 days. Here is a photo.
Oh my
Kathleen,
gosh,
I'll
here we
take
go.
you up on that
Photo
hay
time.
tossing. I'll take
Here
you up
are
on
the
that hay
photos.
tossing.
Here's the photos of me wearing a very, tighter than shirt that I probably
Like
should.
and subscribe.
Like
Hey,
and subscribe, right? Become my
yours.
friends. Become my
Kathleen.
friends.
Anyways, you can tell clearly, not fat, and
No, you're not. You're not
have
fat.
muscle.
We never claimed that you were fat, Sugar.
You're
We
not
just claimed
fat.
that you
You're
were
not
out of
fat.
shape.
Everyone keeps saying
I'm
I'm
sorry,
all this
but
bullshit.
those
I have some muscle.
You have man boobs.
No, that's some muscle, Molly. That's some.
No.
That's no, Sugar.
I mean, Molly, like, be fair,
Kathleen.
right? Like, if you were like most people that you see probably have that kind of body type, and you wouldn't consider them as being fat.
Oh, I didn't say he was fat. I just said he had man titties. That's all.
But there's also some muscle in those titties.
No,
Kathleen.
Sugar, look, Sugar, stop, Sugar, for a second, just stop, right?
You just look weak, is the point.
I've seen you naked, Sugar, very recently. You don't have pecs, you have boobs, right? You don't have big boobs, but you got boobs. Like you could fill out, Sugar, I'm not, look, there's muscle, Sugar, there is muscle under everybody's body because everybody has a muscular system, but just because they have a musculature system does not mean that they are muscular. I've seen you naked. You could fill up a teenage bra. Right? I could put one of my training bras on you, and you would fill up the cups.
2 seconds. This is biased observationing.
By the way, your girlfriend actually appears to be in shape. I've seen her naked. I've seen your girlfriend naked.
Take you up on that hay tossing. We can toss hay
Landon,
all day.
you can come and toss hay all you want. Look, right? I'll fire one of my Mexicans, and you can come do it.
Be out there all damn day.
My girlfriend is gorgeous. Yeah.
I didn't say she was gorgeous. I just said she appears to be in shape.
Those are tits.
Those are not tits.
They are
I've been in better shape. I've been in better shape, but I'm not like there's muscle.
Sugar's got a bulge.
Wait a minute. Do you have a boner?
Yeah, he does. Look, he's got a bulge.
He's got bigger tits than my big
Hey
sister.
guys, just to let you guys real quick, just to let you know, bullying is not tolerated in the room, so you can like.
Oh, okay.
It's not bullying. It's a fact.
Just have a decent conversation. But
you have a chop chop.
Boy.
Hold on, in that picture, I don't know how old it is.
I believe bullying requires the
You
person
guys,
to be
he's in
human.
decent shape. Relax.
Yeah, but that's not what he looks like now.
Thank you.
That's not what he looks
You a
like
little
now.
excited there? You a little excited there, Sugar?
That picture was from this summer, a month ago.
Okay, it's a super shit Pogan, $10. Jesus, $10. Another $10 for the anti-bully fund.
thank you, Bun.
That's a brilliant fund.
Yeah, Pogan, and thank you for also being one of the server's bully busters. Thank you.
Absolutely, and we're not going to tolerate. We're not going to tolerate abuse here. Like it's just not going to happen.
No, we're not.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That, you know what? That
You
picture
have,
that
like-
Ray just posted,
like,
that's
look-
very similar to what I saw.
Yeah, look, like Sugar, you don't have huge man boobs. The problem with yours is that they're like perky. It's like disgusting. They're like
We call that
pointy.
a
It's like,
bird
what-
chest. We call that a bird chest.
Yeah, you're just wearing a couple avocados around your body. It's fine.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with your body, Sugar. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. No one's
Yeah,
saying.
look, moving
I'm
forward.
not saying.
I don't
Look,
know.
moving
You know,
forward.
I would have honestly.
Look, can we just not use the term man tits, right? Just gynecomastia is fine, right? It's just
Gynecomastia, I would.
yeah,
have,
we're just gonna
actually,
use that
I'd
term.
have
It's the medical term.
Well, not all, not all, not
that Sugar
all,
supports all year round.
not all fat deposits on the male pectoral area are gynecomastia.
Sugar, can you do those produce? Is there anything get coming out of this or?
I just want to bring the room's attention that Stargate's playing a game called Slappy Ass that he's live streaming.
Your
Excellent.
Right, your
Cool.
right breast, the nipple seems to be going in its
I'm judging you.
own direction. Yeah, you do have quite a bit of adipose tissue surrounding
you.
the areola there. Interesting.
Now, Sugar, if you want to appear to be in shape without having to actually put in the work, there is a procedure, right? A medical procedure even, done by doctors, called liposuction. And they can actually remove the excess fat from your body. And then you'll see your muscles and you won't have to do anything. You just, you go to sleep, and you wake up and you look like you're in shape.
Just meditate it away.
Well, yeah, maybe you could just meditate the fat away.
Mr. Rogan, you there?
I would just like to quickly remind the room that this conversation was initiated because the claim was that meditation could resolve most physiological and psychological ailments. I regret to inform everyone that there has been no adequate justification of that
Right.
being true. But what I am interested in now is whether or not Sugar would say that he's among the most fit people in the server. Because I certainly don't believe he's fat, but there does seem to be a slight decline in chest-based muscular mass between the Snapchat picture that he posted and the picture Ray posted from the live stream. So do you still perceive yourself to be among the most fit people here, Sugar?
Sorry. First of all, the conversation started because Ray said, "Say something, Sugar." That's literally how it all started.
I don't see the relevance of that.
Well, secondly,
You
Neither does
actually
he.
have amazing cleavage for a guy. Bravo.
yeah, that's because I have a very muscular chest, and if I don't
No,
work
that's
out,
not.
it'll
You
You know
don't
always.
believe
what?
that.
No,
Even you don't
no,
believe that,
no,
buddy.
no. The adipose tissue around the areola going underneath is quite significant, actually.
In that picture, I'm fully
I would
extended
not
with
be
my arms
surprised if
to my
you,
back.
man, you are like 2 minutes away from lactating. What the fuck?
Oh. If you get the right picture of any angle, it can look, not great.
It's a straight on picture. I can see the underbust thing going on here. What are you talking about?
Oh, actually, there's a picture from that live stream that I've put on social media that I got a lot of compliments on. I'll post that.
It's a straight titty. Especially that one.
Watch.
It's a tit. It's a tit. God damn, man. Don't post picture yourself and then try and tell me what I'm not seeing.
You got some milkers, Sugar.
Wait, Sugar, I want to change the conversation because
Last thing I'll say, we can totally change it. Last thing I'll say, so this picture I put on my social media, and I've never got more compliments than people being like, "Damn, your chest looks good. Look at it. Look how good it
What
looks."
You got compliments on that?
Yes.
Covered
in
fun.
You have had a little fun with her.
She's insinuating that you sucked a dick and you have semen on your face.
So anyway,
Yeah,
exact same live stream. Chest looks fucking good. Look at that.
I mean, you can't say your
Well then, Sugar, Sugar, do you believe in ghosts?
Mm.
Yeah, that is not a bad looking chest right there.
Sugar, did you hear my question?
Well, you can crop a pic to make anyone's chest look fantastic. Fuck me.
My back's still looking more ripped than
Sugar
his.
believes in ghosts because every time he argues, it's like something of an apparition.
No, I said I don't know.
You don't know if you believe in ghosts?
No.
Can you check?
I don't know if that's how the afterlife works, honestly.
Okay, here's the interesting thing. If you take this pic that Ray just posted, right, and all you're doing is showing the chest area, it looks like a woman's breasts. Sorry.
Does not look like a woman's breast.
Yeah,
first of all.
it
And second of all,
does.
it's a bad.
It does. Sorry.
Sugar, do you know that problem that you have where you take pictures and you find it hard to make like your body look good and you got to get the right angle? Do you know that problem?
Everybody does that.
No, I don't.
Yes.
Have you seen Ray before? I don't think you've seen Ray's body.
No, I've never seen one picture of Ray. I will die
I'm like,
never
you
knowing.
know what
he looks
Spider-Man looks like? I'm like a bone white Spider-Man.
He's hot. Like he's really ripped.
Probably physically the
In
most
a not gross way.
physically the most dominant non-steroidal person on here. Yeah, that's for sure.
Ray also has
like this is
really nice hair.
Well, no, that's another issue. It's mainly on my back and face.
Also, look at those nice trap muscles. Yeah, we got some good muscle.
Where?
In the picture Ray posted. This picture, by the way, had not worked out, in like a week.
You're saying what? You have. All I
Yeah.
see are tits, man.
We'll
That's
be able to
it.
sort that out in a
He
week.
looks like a Korean girl I
There's
fucked a couple
good,
years ago.
muscular. There's some good.
No, stop lying to yourself. It's not good for you.
Those are some pubescent titties.
Who are you trying to convince, Sugar? Come on. I mean, this is just
Very biased room. Very biased room.
more
Biased
unbelievable than the
room.
horseshit
You
you made up.
posted these pics. What? You have fucking women cleavage. What the hell are you talking
Oh
about?
my god. Okay, first of all, I hunched over in my chair, in my computer chair.
You're standing straight up. What the fuck are you talking about?
You're hunched over in the computer chair. And second of all, it's not even that bad.
No,
Sugar,
yeah,
why
I'll
do you
give you
lie
that.
about
It's
how old
not
you
that
are?
bad. It's not that bad. You're right.
Sugar,
Thank
Sugar,
you.
why do you lie about how old you are?
But don't lie about my age.
Oh,
How old are you?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
Go ahead, say it. Late 20s. Go ahead, say it. Late 20s.
Come on, yeah, say it. How old are you?
I'm sorry. What are we doing right now?
Sugar,
We're asking you
Sugar.
how old
I'm
you
a year
are.
older than Sugar.
No,
I'm a year older.
No. How old are you, Sugar?
A gentleman doesn't tell his age.
You're
Yeah,
you're
Oh,
over
you
30.
Yeah, he does.
frickin'.
Let's cut the mustard.
Well, if you
retard.
guys remember my age, that's Sugar's age. He's a year
No,
younger
it's not.
than me.
He's older than you. No, he's not. He's older than you.
Well, he said he was.
No.
He's 30.
How old
You're
are you?
30?
How old are you on Instagram?
He's
not
dirty
old.
30.
No.
Yeah, you are.
Sugar's an old man.
I'm far from an old man.
Dirty
Still,
30.
I'm just 28. I'm not an old man.
Yeah, well, he's
yeah,
30.
well, you sound like one, so.
Does anybody here?
Hey, Bun. Look,
Hold on.
that's don't.
Give those
Landon,
tits a,
Landon, you don't sound like you have a lot of time left, to be honest.
yeah,
That's probably
give those
'cause I
tits
smoke a
another
pack and a
10
half a
years,
day.
Yuri. Yuri, sorry. She'll give those titties another 10 years and you are going to be a bra model for sure.
No way, never in a million years.
Wait, Sugar, don't you live in California?
No.
You live somewhere where there's sun because your skin is
gross.
It's
He's
just
in
very
Pacific
white.
Northwest, so he doesn't really feel.
Who's the oldest fuck in here?
I think me.
Guys.
How old are you?
No.
I'm 50.
Oh, you got me beat by a little bit.
That would probably be me.
But he's also the handsomest, so it's okay.
Gus is?
I was talking about Andrew.
Wow.
But thanks for putting me on the spot.
Hey, Sugar, do you believe
Yeah, I love
in
how somebody asks if I'm handsome and
Sugar?
there's just fucking silence across the board.
I love you guys.
I
Sugar,
am
do you
hideous to look upon. Do not gaze upon me.
You need to really whap it in there quick, JHC.
It's hard when Gus is in here.
Yeah, I know, fucking, I haven't said a fucking word in I don't know how long, but now because you want to talk right now, I'm a fucking thunderjab.
Yeah,
Shut
go
up.
ahead. Go ahead, Gus. Get it
No,
all
I'm
out.
done. I'm fucking done. You go ahead, kiss man. Fucking kiss my balls while you're at it.
Are you okay?
Damn.
If I was around your balls, I wouldn't be kissing them, Gus.
Yeah, right?
Look, there's
I've
no
got an
need-
elongated neck.
Look, there's no need
Gus,
for
are you
such.
okay?
Hold on,
He
Bun.
is
There's no need
fine.
for such. Hold on. There's no need for such hostility. Like we're having a very
Pogan, I don't know where you think you fucking died and grew up, but this is the place where hostility comes. Okay?
Well, I've been instructed to
Pogan,
move
Pogan,
the,
I don't care what
the
you've been
room in another
instructed to
direction.
fucking do. I don't care. I don't care. You're not a fucking Templar. Just sit there and look decorative.
Oh, yes,
Look, he's a
Poganak.
bully buster.
Yeah, Gus.
Look,
Gus.
Oh yeah? Okay.
I do have
Well,
the authority.
that'd be
to
fucking
enforce-
that'd be new in this place.
Well, just one second,
Considering
Gus. I
considering
do
people
have.
have been pounding on fucking Sugar for I don't know how long, and Pogan's been sitting there at best tutting them.
That's not
At
true.
best.
I actually informed people that they shouldn't be bullying Sugar
Yeah,
either.
that's what I call tutting. Yeah, that's at best.
Look, I'm simply informing you that I've been
And I'm
bestowed with
simply
certain
informing you that according to
authority,
there should not be any
and
bullying.
I think you should stop.
Alright, can you not?
Inalienable rights.
Come on.
I mean, somebody seriously fucking with him? I mean, it seems like it's just joking. Like, is this serious? No, right?
It's serious.
I mean, he has titties, but that's serious. But like anything beyond that, that's serious titties.
No, let me explain to you, Alex. So what it is it's the position that he's made the claim that he's the fittest, he's the greatest, the best diet, the most healthiest, right? He can beat anyone at any sport. He's made great claims about beating Jackie up and other females in the server, right? He's just made all these claims of his. Oh yeah, he's done that. He said he directly kicked Jackie's ass in a fight. He's made yeah, that's right, Bun. He's made all these claims about how strong he is and all this, and it's just not true. It's just not. I mean. He's not
Okay, now,
serious about
little
these topics, people.
Sugar.
I mean, he looks relatively strong. He doesn't look.
Come, Alex. I
Alex,
can
he's not a
say
patch
with
on you, buddy.
almost certainty and confidence that I could probably take him, and I'm only 5'2".
You could take Sugar. Sugar would kick your ass. Are you serious? Are you saying you could take me?
Did I say I could take you? I said
It cut out. I didn't
Sugar.
hear. I didn't hear the end.
Sugar.
I don't know. He looks relatively strong. I figure if you're picking on him this much, like he can't. He has to have something going for him, right? Like you're not gonna
Yeah,
just.
it's called a mental disorder. It has nothing to do with strength and.
Yeah,
he's not like a.
He's not a
Go ahead.
creep or anything. He's not like a sexual pervert. In many ways, actually, he's the one in an abusive relationship.
Well,
but
Ray, he did tell us though he does video record having sex with girls without them knowing.
Right.
That is a
That
big
was the
freak.
one thing I
Yeah.
forgot to mention,
Yeah.
that he does say that he films without permission every
Mm-hmm.
single woman that he's ever slept with.
Horrible.
And
Yeah, yeah,
Wait,
and
what?
then the woman that he loves, that he professes love to now, after they first met up and whatnot, he was sharing audio and I believe video to certain people of them having sex. Yeah, and kind of creepy.
Sugar, is that true?
well, JHC, he's a liar,
No,
so
that's not
he's
true.
not.
That's not true at all. Anyways,
See, that's
Wait,
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 hold on.
wait, wait, wait,
Whoa, whoa,
wait.
whoa, 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 whoa,
What's
whoa.
not true?
This is
What's
gonna.
not
This is
true?
an interesting. This is
sorry,
gonna be an
I'm
interesting
making
shift.
lunch. Something about video recording girls during sex. No.
Yeah,
Anyways,
you do. Yeah. Stop, because actually, someone here in our server, because we were actually live streaming when you said that, and then you really got nervous and said something. I'm going to confer with my lawyer, and then came back and tried that, but it was actually captured. Somebody timestamped that where you said, and then what your claim was is that everyone does it. No, sugar.
this was taken
Everyone
out of
just
context. I
yeah,
don't know if
no,
this
it
was
was
okay.
not.
Sugar,
Yeah,
you
so
are
you
getting
just
older.
went from saying no, I didn't say it, to it's taken out of content. No, because see, that's actually on Tom's video, because we streamed live when you said that. And are you also going to lie that after you had sex with chlamydia, that you actually posting audio of you two having sex?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways,
Yeah, yeah. What do you mean you don't want to talk about it?
He's
Wait.
afraid.
What are we talking about?
You
Getting back to what's
recorded the
important here.
moment that you got chlamydia?
Getting back to what's important.
Amazing.
Getting back to what's important, I have a gigantic chest. It's true. It's a blessing and a curse. I have a
Oh my god.
humongous chest. It's a freakish chest. I don't know why I have it. I don't know why
It's
so big.
perky.
Yeah, it's
It's
freakishly
perky.
Yeah,
fat.
so it's huge.
It's
And here's the thing:
freaky. It is freaky.
when
I give you, it's freaky. That's
and
some
when I don't
freaky
work
shit.
out, it does get can get a little pudgy. But it
It's
is
perky.
huge. Like
Like it's
everyone
literally
that
pointed.
yesterday I was playing basketball. Yesterday I was playing basketball, and my friends were like, "How is your chest so fucking big?" I was like, "I don't know."
No one said
It's
that.
huge.
No
Yeah,
one
just,
said that.
didn't
Not
happen.
one person said that.
they also said I looked really buff because I've been hitting the
What?
That also
yeah.
didn't happen.
No, no one
That
said
also
that
didn't
either.
happen. Yes.
Middle
Sugar,
schoolers.
my
What
titties
the
are bigger than
fuck?
yours. Sit the fuck
Bun, we're
down.
gonna need to see proof of that, please.
No.
What? Okay, so we're all looking at your massive, freakish chest, which I'm going
It
to.
is freakish. It's just
Yeah,
garbage.
freakish,
It looks like
and
shit.
I'm going to say that your delusion and your fucking I don't know if you need extra meditation to get you over that, but fuck, I don't know, you are delusional.
You could like open up a bottle on your nipples. Like they're just
What?
fucking. They just go like outside. They just fucking want. It looks like your chest wants to detach itself from your body, Sugar. It's
What Sugar
literally
didn't
like
tell you was that the people he was playing basket with were all 12 and imaginary.
Wow.
So basically, titties and a parade.
Yeah, you've described all the men in here.
Oh.
JHC, ask Sugar about his beliefs on STDs.
Oh yeah, that's another good one.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll share it with you. So Sugar believes that he is so healthy. He's such a prime fucking specimen that he should be bottled and sold on the market, that he did not get chlamydia because he's so fucking healthy. See, he thinks I can never get cancer because I'm so healthy. Everything that he comes across, he's not going to get, or his body fights it off because he's so healthy. Matter of fact, he's so healthy that when his girlfriend came back to visit him, and this is chlamydia, that he was pondering, should I wear a condom or not? And then he thought, well, no way she can give me another STD because, I already, dodged that bullet. So I reckon he said, yeah, I'll go without a condom because AIDS, STDs, can't get it because I'm so fucking healthy.
This dude has HPV.
Yes.
It's got HPV written all over it.
Oh no,
like,
he has. He's
He
self-admittedly he's got
has, yeah.
HPV.
when he
But no,
gets
he had
STDs, he like
HPV, but his body cured it.
That's right.
no when
He
he
cured.
when he has STDs, he like trades the STD for earth energy on his earthing mat. He like expels the STD back into
Doesn't
the
like
earth.
80% of the world have HPV?
A lot
Yeah,
of people
for the
do.
Ali Wong special.
So you just
HPV is very pervasive. I mean, it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere.
Oh, and another interesting thing, when he finally did go to doctor, and I don't
It's so
understand
cute. He went to doctor.
why he. I'm not quite sure how the swabbing went for this testing, but I
They
guess the
stuck it in his
doctor
dick.
asked him. But it was interesting that they didn't do a mouth swab since you can get chlamydia of the mouth, but that's neither here nor there.
Sugar just really wanted
But
something
he
stuck
also
in his
said,
dick.
no, I do not want any further testing, even though my girlfriend, the whore of Babylon, has been spreading her legs and is the town bike. Please do not test me for any other STDs, just chlamydia. Which I find
No, I went back and got the blood test because I got nervous a month later, and clean of everything.
How didn't you do a full panel like a week ago or something? Or
No, a while ago. Yeah, I got nervous and I got all the blood tests and clean, of course, clean. Just anxiety.
Oh, what?
I thought you cured all that.
Why, of course.
Of course, you cannot cure a normal, healthy range of human emotions. I'm talking about when you have a disease like a
Why
panic
not?
disorder,
So why wouldn't you say you
treatment
just got
resistant
nervous?
or
Why
treatment
wouldn't you
resistant
say
major
you were
depression.
nervous?
Those things
Why
are not
wouldn't you?
the normal range
No.
of human experience.
So you would say you got anxious or nervous, but you actually had anxiety. Good thing you had those tablets on hand. My golly.
I never take tablets ever. I took one in like 6 months.
stupid. Sorry.
I never take them. I took one.
You're
I never
you're
have
going
panic
back to
attacks
my permanent
unless I
troll
have
list.
them.
You know what the rule of thumb on that is? When you admit to taking one, that usually means you've taken about 3 or 4 at least.
Oh,
I can show you
fuck.
a bottle.
Sugar man, you're really fucking dumb, buddy. Where else do we go with this? Can you make up something new that you don't know anything about? Don't know anything about diet, don't know anything about health, nothing about medicine, fuck all about meditation. General living, general day-to-day living, you don't seem to really have a handle on that either. You live in an apartment that looks like it's never been furnished. You have 3 weird statues and a bunch of rosary beads. What have you got a grasp on in your life, buddy? What can you tell us about? What can you tell us something that you know about? Come on. It could be manga, it could be anime, it could be a computer game. I don't know, fucking golf. What do you know about, buddy?
I know lots of. I'm very
Emma,
knowledgeable in many
No,
areas,
you
and in
don't.
terms of my life, Ray, I live in a.
You do not.
We're alive during this technological revolution. It's amazing. We get the internet. I spend all my days, with friends, doing amazing things, having great dinners, and going and
Well,
doing
none of
cool
that's true, but
activities.
I mean, what is there anything apart from the
Wait a
same
minute, I
6
showed
or
you the
7?
pictures of the amazing dates that I went on with my girlfriend.
Mm,
We got to
Oh
go.
But he
wait, when you
doesn't.
rented the date where you rented a dog?
That was many trips ago. This one we got to go to this
Yeah.
animal farm, this incredible animal ranch where you drive through herds of different animals. Oh, it's the best experience of my life.
It's amazing. My life is so amazing.
that
This
sounds
is
really
very
dull.
original, and
Sounds
You
this
really
keep
is
dull.
eating many of those
So
dinners that you're talking about,
just
you're gonna have even bigger boobs.
just how about you tell us about something that isn't fucking dumb? Can you do that? Is that something you think you can fucking pull out
I
of the
mean, he
hat?
doesn't know shit. He doesn't
Oh
know
wait,
anything about
did
fitness.
your love of your life girlfriend, one that you trust solely and completely, did she ever post a pic of the two of you together on her fucking Twitter, whatever, Instagram bullshit?
Tweety Twitter.
No.
No, I didn't
I
think
wonder
she
why
would.
that is.
Okay, so the well's dried
Just
up
one
with
second. Is
sugar.
anyone just 1 second? Is anyone in possession of that screenshot of his Instagram that I shared some time ago? I can't find it where he's like taking a selfie where it's like a photo that he claimed, at least in the description, was his taken by his girlfriend, but it's just him taking a selfie with his feet. It was just like an incredible acrobatic.
Oh, you got caught
Oh
slipping?
yes, yes, that was
Yes.
the best.
That's obviously a joke.
Yeah,
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
no,
was a joke.
no,
Okay,
yeah,
no,
that
no,
was a
I
joke.
The
believe.
whole
I
reason for
actually
that
believe
picture is
that.
the joke part.
No,
No, I
it's not.
believe that actually. I can believe that. I
No,
can believe that it's a joke.
Young,
Any
it's
more
sugar. Young, it's sugar, darling.
No, but
We know
that's
full
just
well.
way too like. It was
No,
just way too
that's right
obvious.
up his alley. Muppet doesn't know how to screen a pic before he posts it. Come on.
I mean, Sugar, have you got any
I
hobbies or anything? Or, I mean, what do you do for fun? Apart from
Sugar
doing
is very good
everything
at
the
math.
best. Come on, what are your hobbies?
Look at
Give
this.
us something you
Look at
do.
this elk attacking my car. How fun is this?
But that's not a hobby, Sugar. That's just one experience. So give us, what else do you do in your free time? There must be something you do. Do you go fishing? Do you do puzzles? Do you paint?
That's not an elk.
That's not.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
That's totally an elk.
You guys sound really dumb in that.
What?
What?
That's not an elk.
Oh my God, we got a big guy coming in.
I mean, I don't even know what an elk is.
You can't even. You can't even do that.
Are you joking? I fucking hunt elk every year. That's not an elk.
I mean, like, Sugar
Wait, you're
pondered
telling me
for like
deer? No,
about
that's obviously an elk.
for
Do
like
you like play chess
for
or
like
something?
I'm sorry, what did you just say? Deer is what?
Deer do not get that big. It is an elk.
Oh god. It must be
Yes.
so fucking weird
Wow.
going through life and living in the world, perceiving it completely wrong, like everywhere you go.
Sugar, yeah, she's right. Snogs is right. You spend it, Sugar. You spend a lot of the time lying and doing stuff wrong. What is it in your life that you get right?
What are you talking about?
Look, Sugar, we want to open a new chapter on the Sugar experience, right? We can't just have you being wrong all the time. We can't just have you making claims that you can never back up, right? Let's try something new. Let's have the Sugar that knows what he's doing, right? Let's go now, okay? Give us the confident Sugar on a subject that they can talk about, that they know something about, right? What is it? What would that be?
I was chilling. This whole thing started because you were like, "Sugar, do your thing." This was because of you, Ray.
What? Oh no, the play of the game goes to you on this one, buddy. But what is it you know? What is it you know about Sugar?
I mean, I don't know all things.
Wait, you ask him what he knows about himself?
I'm really
Just
good at
what I'm trying to do
I
is
know
that
politics pretty well and history. I know history really well. I don't know.
that's
It's
good.
not like I'm.
Why don't you talk about those things then, rather than things you don't know about? Because you seem to talk about the things that you don't know about more than the things you do.
Look, I'll talk about anything, but I've been talking too long. Let other people talk.
Hmm. What are you eating now? That better be fucking keto friendly.
Sugar. I think. Do you guys remember when
Actually,
like
guys, I think that
maybe
is elk.
That is actually. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
retract that. I just
Oh,
saw it that.
Oh,
Guys,
fuck.
that is
don't we
elk.
feel
Oh
silly?
shit!
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
saw
we
it
have to give the
that.
Oh,
baby a little one.
Yeah, I
Yeah, we have to
apologize.
give him
I
his little
just saw
candy.
the ass end of the other one in the background. That
it
is
wasn't
actually
just you,
female elk.
Molly. A lot of us
No,
doubted it.
I think you guys
Eh,
need to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
anyways,
think we
Yeah,
just got
we're gonna
wrecked.
Apologize.
need to split the
Yeah.
server after
I
this.
fucked. Yeah, I fucked the donkey. Apologies. That is a
Molly,
female elk.
we'll never let you forget this. The
That's
time
okay.
Well, hang
that
on,
you
hang
Fuck
on,
found
the
out
elk.
hang on a
That's
second, because
about the
claim
elk.
the claim actually was that it was not a deer because it's an elk, and an elk is a type of deer. So
No,
it's
some of us
both
said that it
right.
wasn't an elk, and some of us said that it, and then Dingbat said it was.
Hmm.
And I went looking, and the fact is that most elks, they kind of look like somebody punched them just above the nose and broke it, and they also have a heavy ruff underneath their necks,
Yeah.
and that guy did.
well, you should leave the
Right.
server then. That's the
This,
case.
yeah,
I'm with the
you
camp
guys
of
leave,
people on the
please.
server. I'm with the camp of people on the server that don't care either way about that. So, Sugar, when you've done eating the thing that obviously isn't part of the fake ketogenic lifestyle that you obviously don't lead, can you come back with a strong 5 minutes of content about something you do know about? Is it you
No,
think you can do that?
that's okay. Let other people talk. I'm just listening.
Let's just go with your strengths. Just think about what are my strengths in life, and just go.
Math.
What am I good at? What am I
Math is
confident?
definitely not my strength.
Reading.
Yeah, remember when you pondered for maybe half an hour what 1 divided by 3 was, and you didn't get it right for like half an hour. It was terrible.
I got it right. I just misspoke. I said 3.33 instead of 0.333.
And then you said no, it's and then you said no, it's and then you said no, it's not 3.3 periodical.
Yeah,
It's
Jesus
1.3
Christ, you're worse than young, for
periodical.
fuck's sake.
Sugar doesn't swallow.
I never eat on mic. But...
Nonsense.
Sugar, without looking
Nonsense. Every
anything
time I
up.
turn around, you're.
Sugar, without looking anything up, what's 9 times 7?
9 times what?
7.
I didn't hear you. 9 times what?
You heard.
Stuff.
Calculator.
I have not done any calculator.
I'm gonna speculate that you asking me twice what the multiplication problem was is just you buying time to fire up a calculator.
I have a tuna bowl.
Hogan is now going to very carefully explain to us what we all know.
Then just ask him a different
I've told you I'm not good at math. I will happily.
Okay, Sugar. Can you hear me right now? Can you hear me? What's 8 times 6?
It cuts out for the second number every time. 8 times
6.
It does not cut out.
Doesn't.
I swear to God, every time he says a second number,
You don't need to scream.
6.
So I think over the past couple of days we've established that sugar.
24.
My God, he's doing Common Core.
Do you not know? Wait, Sugar. Hold on. Do you not? Just a second. Do you not know your times tables?
Oh, he's
no,
sweating.
I'm not good at math. I've told you this.
Yeah, don't pick on. He already admitted.
I
he's
think
not.
I think
To be
in
fair,
most
being honest about it.
I think because I think when most of us hear something like "I'm not good at math," we don't quite picture that you don't know what like 5 times 5 is.
If somebody were,
you don't know
if somebody were
long
to
5 times
division.
5 is 25.
Hold on. If somebody were to approach me and say, I'm not good at math, right? I interpret that to mean something like, I wasn't really good at calculus in college. Maybe I struggled with algebra a little bit, right? As Young just said, that doesn't mean I assume they don't know basic multiplication.
No, you've got to give him this one because listen, he's so dishonest on the other topics that if he says he's not good at it, that you have for him that's progress, right? For him to actually admit that he's not the best at something that
no, I admire his honesty
right.
for
No,
sure.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's sugar. That's
There's a difference between not being the best and just being retarded on it.
right.
I'm not good at philosophy.
That's a meaningful
I'm not good at philosophy.
Oh, there's look. The list is long of things you're not good at, buddy. Right?
No,
It's just
but I
whether
think,
you realize it or not.
but Ray, he said that he's good at politics. Like, do you
Oh,
actually
he may
buy
be.
that? That
That's
he knows
fine.
a lot of.
That's cool. I mean,
What?
that doesn't
You
really
buy
come up
that?
here much. So, what's your
You
favorite
buy
political?
that Sugar is good at politics.
He could be. He could be the best. He probably is the best. But Sugar, what is it?
Very good at history. Anything about history. Go ahead.
You know everything about history.
Not everything. That's one good.
What
Wait,
major
what's really
battle?
interesting, if I may, you said that you have a degree in English. Why didn't you mention you're good at English?
I mean,
how are you going to test his English degree?
I'm good at reading and
Can't really test his English over.
No, if you're not good at reading.
I read without tracking my the words with my
like
finger.
I was getting my English degree when like punctuation. Like I've always been on computers my whole life, so like I still suck at punctuation. I'm just,
So Sugar, what history are you best at?
all of it.
Okay. So when did World War II start and when did it end?
1944.
Wrong.
Start or
That's already wrong.
Is that right?
That's
1945.
That's incorrect for both questions.
We're gonna eat you like sushi, kid.
When did World War II start? Was it 1940?
Sugar, listen to me. Sugar, calm down. Look, the question was, When did the Second World War begin, and when did it end? You said 1944, which is incorrect for both questions.
Is that when it ended?
No, it
Well,
ended in
don't you know?
1945.
I know it's somewhere in there. Oh, it started in 1940. What?
But he
No,
knows
it
about
didn't.
history, kid.
That's
Started
also
in
wrong.
1939. You
So you were wrong on both counts.
All right.
Look,
it
maybe
ended-
maybe
it
World
ended
War
in
II isn't
44.
the thing. Maybe World War II isn't
Yeah,
the thing.
let's write
All
World
right,
War
that's
One.
fine. When was
I've been to World
independence?
War II. Ask me any.
When was independence declared in your country? When was independence declared from Britain in your country?
1776.
Oh my God, for little things.
Yeah. Woo.
See, we're getting somewhere.
When was
There we go.
America as a continent? When is it believed to have been discovered? I guess by Europeans.
Jesus. By Columbus?
Yeah.
No, he's asking
Well,
for a year.
that's tricky. It depends on who you ask.
Yeah, but there's one date that they teach at schools. Like
Well, maybe they do if they're fucking stupid, but again, it depends on who you ask. Because some people think that the so-called discovery of America was Columbus discovering nowhere near America, and some people just think that it was the Vikings who actually settled in what we now call
no, but
Newfoundland.
I mean by European. I mean by European.
I've got a good one, I think. And
Columbus.
like, just let him ponder this for a second. When was the last time the United States was formally in war? As in, the last time we were formally at war with a.
Aren't we
Like the
always in a
Congress-
war?
the Congress declared war.
Correct. Yeah.
Maybe World War II.
Oh, you got that right. That's surprising.
Hey, what up?
Well, there's no need for that. Let's not.
Sugar,
scream
where's
into the mic.
Normandy?
France.
That's good.
Okay.
What is another name for the Cardinal of Rome?
Oh, jeez.
The
That's not
person
really
who holds
that's not really a history question.
the person who holds the
No,
title
but he
of
says he's Catholic.
the person who holds the title. Oh, you know what? Pogan's right. That's not really history. I withdraw it. But if you'd like to answer it, that would fucking put you decent.
Well, you would think you would know. He
Cardinal-
says
isn't
he's
the only
Catholic.
he
thing
does.
higher-
He.
No,
sorry,
isn't
go
the only thing higher than a cardinal a pope?
Well, that's not really the question, but you've kind of you accidentally answered it.
It's the Pope. Yeah, the answer is
Yeah.
the Pope. Although there are cardinals in the Vatican that are not popes, but whatever.
Well, they're all
the
not
point-
popes unless they are the pope, right? And
Yeah.
to be the cardinal of the Vatican. And it's not
There's
the
a
cardinal
new-
of, and I'm
Well,
not
I'm
asking
not
about the
sure if
cardinal of
that's the
Vatican.
case.
I'm not asking about the cardinal of the Vatican. I'm asking about the cardinal of Rome. The
Where-
Pope
Oh,
also
okay, then
wears
maybe that's like
that
a
second
special
hat.
term.
The
I've
Pope
got
wears that second hat.
This is
Are bishops right below the cardinals?
We're not talking about religion, son. We're talking about history. Pogan, next question,
we're
please.
I've got a. Well, this isn't so much a history question as it is a U.S. government question, but pretty much.
Why? I thought it was about history. The kid says it's straight turn history.
Let's do easy stuff, right?
Okay.
The
all
French
right.
Revolution. The French
Where was,
Revolution. The French
sorry.
Revolution. The French Revolution. When did that?
What about it?
When did it happen?
Early 1800s. Wait, no, I'm sorry. It happened before the Revolutionary War of America. So like
No, that's
early
incorrect.
1750s, maybe.
No, it did.
Nope.
First of all, it didn't happen before the American Revolution. Second of all, you're way off.
I'll make it easier for you. Who came to power after the French Revolution?
Napoleon.
Excellent. And where was Napoleon finally defeated once and for all?
Waterloo.
But where did his grand army meet its first great defeat?
Ooh, Russia.
I'll give you a hint.
Russia,
it's why they were
Russia.
buttons
I
sewn
said
onto the
Russia.
arms of his.
Russia.
That's true.
Yes.
Russian winter always beats these armies.
Oh, he's not too bad. He's not too bad.
Hey!
That's
He's
the
got-
kind of
he's got
history
some
you
stuff.
can pick up from watching
here we
epic
go.
rap battles of history.
Where was Little Bighorn fought?
Civil War. Oh wait, no, is that wait, Little Bighorn, is that the one with the Indians, the custard?
That's for you to work out.
You don't get any redefining questions. You either answer the question or you don't.
Little Round Top was Gettysburg. Little Bighorn, that's got to be Custard. That's my guess. The Custard.
That's correct. I mean, that wasn't the question, but that's correct. Yeah.
For extra
said, where
points,
was it fought?
for extra points, what did the First Nations at the time call that battle?
The Native Americans? Jeez.
No, the other fucking First Nations.
I don't
The
know.
fucking the little fairy people. Yes.
I have no idea what they called it.
They called it the Battle of the Greasy Grass.
Wow.
Then it was fought in Montana.
The Black Hills. Do you know why it was fought there?
I listened to a whole detailed podcast on this battle.
Great, then you can tell us why you can tell us why we were so horny to get the Sioux out of the Black Hills.
Here, final question, then we'll move away from the history.
I don't know the answer to that.
Hold on.
It's
Final
because
question.
they found gold in the Black Hills.
Final question, Sugar. Listen. The most significant Leninist movement in Russia that led to the Bolsheviks seizing power was called the what revolution?
I don't know.
The October Revolution.
The something uprising? Something uprising?
No, that's
the
wrong.
October Revolution.
It's the October Revolution.
Yeah.
I mean, like he wasn't terrible, but this is not being good at history, right?
Yeah, these are like history
What are
channel
you
questions.
talking about? That is good.
Well, the point
you
we're
think
making
not
is
knowing the French Revolution or like the October Revolution or when World War II started and ended, that's like a good sign.
No, but listen, you've got to give him credit. Within the shortest period of time, he has been the most right he has
That's
ever
true.
been.
The
in.
frequency.
That's true. That's true.
Look, it's not quiz night, Landon. Keep it in your pants. But look, Sugar, do you?
That count got shot, but it was already in motion. If it wasn't for, it was going to start regardless.
That's not the only reason, Sugar.
Uh-oh.
That's World War
No, hey, Landon. No, look, I said I said that was the final history question. If we spend much more time on this, it's gonna like.
Well, he'll start
fucking kill the
speaking
room.
more. But Sugar, did you notice? What did you take away from that history exchange? The lovely exchange you just have. What was the takeaway from that?
That other people in this chat are very good at history as well. Was my takeaway.
Right, but did you notice something that would happen when you were answering the questions and you were right? What happened? There was. What did you notice about the resistance from the room?
People were happier.
Well, yeah, and it wasn't like there was much pushback.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry that I can't. I also debate more contentious issues than things that are facts.
Right, but saying things like meditation is capable of resolving most physiological ailments isn't just contentious, right? It's empirically, demonstrably wrong. That's the issue.
Yeah, or saying that via proof of a TED talk that the woman was cured of cancer by solely taking turkey tail, which proved to be wrong, even though you wanted to fight that. And then having the audacity to say that you are a better nurse than me because there's no such thing as oral chemotherapy.
I was wrong about oral chemotherapy.
Yeah, you were.
And retract.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sugar, do you think?
That's the
Sugar,
no, actually, that's the third time in conversation with you where you have sat there and said, "You're not a nurse. Prove it. I'm a better nurse than you." That's the third time that you've mentioned that, and yeah, makes you really.
he
Look
just
stupid.
means he likes dressing as a nurse. Look,
Yeah.
Sugar,
Sugar
do you
no
think?
nurse.
Sugar, definitely no nurse.
Yeah.
Sugar, never nurse. Sugar, do you think moving forward, this might be a bit of a red letter day from you? Do you think you're gonna drop all the made up horse shit that you spout about medicine and all that, or do you think it's just too ingrained in you? It's too much of your personality. Do you think you're gonna take this sort of thing to the grave?
I've said it will take a two-part effort. One, I will definitely make an effort to not talk about not because I don't think I'm right, but because it's getting tired
Oh,
of
you're
talking
not.
about it, the same things. But it also will take an effort on everyone else's part to stop asking me about it. It's just incessant. How much
Right,
I'm
but the
asked.
reason
Whoa, Daddy.
the reason people
no
ask you
one
about it.
asked you for anything like that.
How
Well,
did
no,
the whole conversation today start?
Well, I said, and to be fair to him, I said, Sugar, start saying something really fucking dumb, and he did it.
Oh,
He went out there,
okay.
and he did do exactly what he was asked of him. Right? He talked about the thing that he's very passionate about, alternative medicine, right? And another thing he's very passionate about, being wrong all the time, right? Being dumb all the time. That's you can guarantee a good time with Sugar. He's very pliable.
You
I'm
know,
just
Dad,
waiting for the.
I actually learned something from you, and it's really quite sad because had your approach been completely different, it would have been a fucking absolute fabulous win for you because I was not familiar with the turkey tail until you mentioned it, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. And actually, I sent a message to my sister-in-law saying, you know, hey, we might want to look at that for my mum. But what was really sad is that we had to go about it with you starting with a very false and fucked up claim that brought us around to that. So maybe the next time you decide to come in here and say, you know, XYZ cures cancer or there's many other cures for cancer, maybe you might want to tone it down and say, you know, I read this article that stated this. What do you guys think? Maybe if you tried that approach, then we could all look at the article and read it, some of the things that you missed because you tend to be Mr. One Paragraph person. Then we can all come to like a decision on it instead of you coming in and stating fucked up claims and pissing me off.
Sugar, what I really want from you in the future is I want to see multiple videos of you playing basketball in a skin tight pink vest and a pair of cutoffs that are bleached within an inch of their life. Is that something you can accommodate for me? Sugar?
Sorry, I'm getting ready. Yes to all this. Love you all. Love everybody.
Okay.
Love.
I look forward to seeing those videos.
What are you getting ready for, sure?
One big troll, guys. He's just trolling us.
Well, we can hope, and Landon, there is hope that he still is. I genuinely hope that that is the case, that he is just trolling us. If not, it means there's someone like him walking around.
It's literally not just me. I cannot emphasize this enough. Everything I know about health, I learned from Dr. Oz and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes.
And
Okay.
Oprah
Listen to me.
Winfrey.
Listen to me.
Oprah
I'm
Winfrey,
going
Gwyneth
to. No, listen
Paltrow,
to
and
me.
Dr. Oz.
Sugar, I want you to listen to this.
It's scary.
You can research it. You can research it yourself. Dr. Oz has been slammed time and time again for taking money to have these people come on and spout their bullshit. He is a fucking crackpot doctor. The fact that you watch fucking Dr. Oz and get all your medical information from him is ludicrous. The fact that you quote people like fucking Gwyneth Paltrow and Oprah Winfrey and who the fuck is that other dude? Wayne Willie or what? I don't know what the fuck his name.
Wayne Gretzky.
Dwyer, yes.
Yeah. See, when you make those statements, it does you no favors whatsoever. You and this is what I noticed with you that also makes me question your mental capacities is that you equate someone's fame to their intellect and reason to trust them, which is really odd.
I agree with
Oprah Winfrey could literally run for president right now and win. That's how big she is.
That means
she
nothing.
Believes everything. She believes in everything. I believe the exact same. Same with Dr. Oz. Same with Wayne Dwyer, who is one of the best-selling authors of all time. Very, very good guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Trump is also your president. Trump, Donald Trump is also your president. I presume that you don't trust everything he believes, right? Sure.
I just wanted to comment
No,
on something really quick because I think it's like I agree with Tom. I think it's actually terrifying that somebody could just watch Dr. Oz and use that as a basis for pretty much all of the medical information they possess. Right, like the notion of somebody watching that show and walking around thinking, yeah, you know, Dr. Oz talked about these magical beans for 30 minutes, so I've been taking them for about 2 weeks despite having very little knowledge of what they could do or what their effectiveness actually is. Like, is anyone else terrified by that? I mean,
Yeah, Pogan, why do you think he's so popular?
Watch Dr. Oz. You notice that that's not how his show goes, and most of the time,
Yeah, it does. It does.
for
And
the
like I said,
mind,
had you
diet,
taken the time to
exercise.
actually research Dr. Oz and notice that all the lawsuits and everything that's come down the pike on him for his fucking guru woo woo shit that he advocates for because he's getting paid to bring these people on and sell their diet shit and their weight loss shit and all that. If you even took a moment out of your day to research that and have the capacity and the mental fortitude to realize that he's just a fucking scam artist, snake oil salesman, you'd probably be a lot better in your own life.
I mean, well, we will continue to call Dr. Oz a snake oil salesman. That just is so wrong and unjust.
Absolutely. Okay. What would you call someone who does not do the actual research or any due diligence, just merely says we are going to pay you to have you bring us on the show and advocate and back up our bullshit claims and help sell our product? That's a fucking
This
snake
is what's
oil
wrong with
salesman.
it. This is part of the reason what's wrong with our society. Dave Chappelle and his stand-up. You guys should all watch this.
Oh, here we go.
Sticks and
Another
stones.
celebrity to
It
listen
talks
to.
about in our society, like if you ever make one mistake, it tarnishes you for forever. Whatever.
Multiple mistakes.
Dr. Oz is
Riddle
on
him.
his 10th season. Yeah, he recommended some pills that turned out not to be great one time. 10 seasons doing shows like
not just
every
one
day.
time.
You know, he does shows 5 days a week. It's a lot of shows. And of course, you're going to occasionally make a mistake, and it shouldn't tarnish you for the rest of your fucking life because he is literally a
Well,
saint.
let me, if I may, I'm not trying to.
So many lives, including my life.
Yeah, look, I'm not trying to. If I may, I'm not trying to be uncharitable or hostile to you, but I think the issue is that if somebody such as yourself were to come into a room without having a medical degree, without trying to really speak as an authority, and they said, "Yeah, try this random shit," that's significantly less objectionable than somebody who has a medical degree and is posing himself as an authority on a television show saying you should take this random shit, right? Because if he advocates something that you should take in spite of, number one, not really understanding its effectiveness, number two, not knowing of potential consequences from taking it, then he's very much blameworthy for endangering anyone that takes the drug and just believes him on authority, right? As Molly pointed out, there have been lawsuits over this. There's a conversation between him and I think a congressman on YouTube where he's grilled about doing that very thing. So yes, what he's doing is objectionable. Now, we're not saying that all of the treatments he advocates are complete garbage. I'm sure once in a while he says something of medical value. What we're saying is that given his degree and his credentials and his status as an authority, he should be significantly more responsible. Which I don't even think, like, I understand you're an advocate for alternative medicine, but I don't even think you would disagree with that. It's just irresponsible to, as an authority, advocate things that you are unsure of or don't have a high degree of confidence of.
No, I don't want to live in a society where you can only advocate things if you're a PhD or whatever. I can advocate whatever the fuck I want to. I gotta go.
No, that's not even what I said, though. I'm not saying you can't. Oh, he left. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. That was way too reasonable for him.
He's got to play basketball, people. Don't separate him from the sport he loves so much and is so good at. The best at. Well, that was another 3-hour.
Tom, I'd like to point out, Tom, that through reasonable dialogue and kindness, I busted a bully.
That's true.
It's a testament to the role of being effective.
Congratulations.
You did really well,
Quite
Pogan.
interesting for you guys. In 2014, a team of
Bully
medical
busted.
researchers released a report providing that 60% of advice given on Dr. Oz show lacked scientific basis. Soon afterwards, 1,300 doctors signed an open letter calling him a quack, a fake, a charlatan whose advice endangers patients.
All right, Molly, I'm actually reading another one here that 40 to 80% of all people that watch Dr. Oz think he's a complete cunt. Wow, that's another startling.
And you know what? He only practiced medicine for a couple years and then realized that he could make more money actually giving bullshit medical advice.
You know, I really used to like Oprah, and she's just promoted so many ripoffs. I don't know why she promotes these kind of people.
Yeah, well, see, that's another thing too. How they like Dr. Phil and these other ones
Yeah.
that go on her show and then end up getting spin-off shows from it and whatnot. Just a bunch of fucking cracker barrels out there saying, you know, you can listen to me, trust me, I'm a doctor. Yeah, brilliant.
I want to promote Dr. Phil, if you know what I mean.
I like Steve Wilkos.
Do you want to promote the hell out of him?
My dad loves Dr. Oz. It's ridiculous, and I hate it.
Did you say
What
your
straight
dog?
guy watches Oprah?
My dad.
Oh,
I
was
thought you
hoping
said
it
your
was
dog too.
Yeah, I was hoping it was your dog. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, I was going to say my dog absolutely loves it when I do the animated fish tank on my screensaver. She absolutely loves that.
Yo, Andricus.
Oh, Stuka.
Yeah, Wrench.
You're a bad person for celebrating your birthday. I just want you to know that.
Oh, you missed the final spurg out.
I missed the coup de grace.
Yeah, hold on.
It was good stuff.
You know, fucking about this time last year, I fucking holed him for 2 hours because he wanted to say birthdays are arbitrary, and he started to go down that rabbit hole with you, where he was like, well, you know, some people in China celebrate the day of conception.
Is today your birthday, Andricus?
No, it's not.
Oh, my birthday's next month.
Congratulations.
It's arbitrary.
October 11th.
You're a bad person if you celebrate it, Landon. Don't celebrate your birthday.
I'll be 29 in October 11th.
That's arbitrary. You could be 11 jillion years old for all we know.
Well, since you're driving, I'll read it to you. We started getting into meditation and like the ability, the thoughts, and I made the point that humans are neither entirely evil or good. They're both. And then he said something about, because we kept bringing up the point that, we were talking about the flood and the killing of innocent babies and all that. And I said the inability to keep a baby alive makes one evil. And then he said, only Jehovah God can sustain and give him life forever. And then he says, he gives all babies that choice. So in your worldview, he is good.
Oh, fuck.
Babies can choose whether to be good or evil.
Baby choices!
Baby choices.
Yeah, and that was, I was like, yeah, until you resolve that one, we're done, bro.
You should tell them that babies are not agents.
As an infant, I have two choices. I could either hunt for this nipple or cause a genocide. I'm just not sure which one.
I would always choose the nipple.
He was also trying to pretend that there could have been a time in history where no babies actually were present, such as the time of the Great Flood.
Yeah.
Like that there was a time when just no babies, none.
Oh, sort of like no babies were harmed in creating this flood.
Exactly.
Thank God there were no babies to choose evil at that time.
Yeah, no, there could have been a time when, people lived for 100 years and they maybe, they didn't have babies until they were 105.
I almost crashed the company car when you first engaged him, where he was like, so, can you define a birthday? And you just pause for a second and go, you dishonest fuck.
Did not.
All right, I gotta get back to work. I'll pop on in a bit.
See you, bud.
See ya.
Babies get the choice to be good or evil. They all get that choice.
The wicked babies. Remember when he wanted to talk about wicked babies for a second?
Yes.
Wicked babies.
I wanted to refresh. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we need more of those in here.
Wicked babies.
No, the guy you were talking about.
There's plenty of wicked babies up in
The Mark
this one.
Thomases?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like Mark Thomas content? I can give you some stuff.
We just had a beautiful one today. I wish we'd stayed in the same room, but it was
You
the
sounded
sugar
like-
3 hours.
Yeah.
You sounded like a drug dealer there, Tom.
Yeah.
Thomas content. I can give you some.
I can give you some.
I give you some.
I'd have some of that.
Bring it in.
There was a pretty
Bring it out of my
mind.
Just sit
There was
tight.
there was a pretty mind-numbing conversation a few days ago with Mark Thomas, where for like 45 minutes to an hour, people tried to get him to understand the Nazis at your door, you're hiding Jews hypothetical.
Oh.
To see if like he would be okay with lying. And I remember it bottomed out at one point with me saying like, look, it's stipulated that you have Jews in your house. They're looking for the Jews. What would you
Yes.
do? I'm not kidding when I say this. He goes, well, what are Jews?
Yeah, that was stupid. Yeah, I
Jeez.
remember that.
Well, we would fix the. We've already fixed the Nazi soldiers' breakfast, so we're having a
Yeah,
nice
no, that was
conversation.
my favorite. I would tell them we have breakfast.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd ask them. He said something like, "I'd ask them why they aren't Jews" or something.
Here's one. This is a hangout. It's 3 hours, 30 minutes long. I titled it, Mark Thomas says you can sex a 9-year-old if they consent and are independent.
What?
yeah.
See, this now explains a little bit better. Remember earlier, and because when he said that weird thing about the daughter.
Oh God, I tried to get out of there so fast because that was just so. That was
It
awful.
was the strangest. It was the strangest proposal for him to have
Well,
made.
we were talking about unconditional love for your children, and I said, "Is your love for your children unconditional?" And he said, "Well, if your daughter wanted to come and have a baby with you, would you love her still?" And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, if your daughter wanted to come and have a baby with her father, would you still love her? That was his proposal for not having unconditional love for your.
No, he had made what was his screen name? Princess Dada was his name. And over the course, he would say some really weird things regarding like his daughter and whatnot, where it was almost like, yeah.
That
Not
makes it
saying,
even weirder.
not saying that it's anything other. Maybe it's just I don't know, language barrier or whatever.
So
But
he
yeah,
really has.
there were
He really
times
has a
when
daughter.
yeah, he has a daughter.
Yeah.
Things just made me feel extra creepy right now. I'm gonna shake that.
Right.
He disciplines her with a wooden spoon.
Yes.
Is this? Oh my.
And I believe at the time he was spanking her with the wooden spoon, she was 3 or 4 years old. Yeah.
Oh God.
He also wouldn't partake in like her birthday because it's a holiday and against his religion. Wouldn't do Christmas or anything that's like fun for a kid. Would not participate in because Jehovah wouldn't go see like movies with her. Yeah, it's awful. It's really awful.
One of the worst things. Like, I remember in high school, there was a friend. By friend, I just mean acquaintance of mine who had very strict Christian parents. I wasn't sure if they were Jehovah's Witnesses or whatever, but you could just see the disappointment in his face. Like when, for instance, Halloween would roll around and he couldn't participate or go trick or treating because, of course, his religion is against it. He couldn't. I think he also had some weird thing with birthdays where he couldn't do it because it was considered a holiday. So all the gifts came from people that weren't related to him, and it's just you could just tell the kid was so depressed. Like his childhood was being robbed from him by these people that refused to let him do anything because Jesus would be against it. It's just insane. It's one of the saddest fucking things I remember from high school.
That's just cruel of parents to do that to their kids when they're surrounded by an entire environment that does exactly the opposite. That's just cruel.
Yeah, see, that's the part where it's hard, right?
Though, because I asked him, because he converted to Jehovah Witness, so I asked him. I said, "So when you were growing up, you had Christmas holiday, you had birthdays, and you had all these things when you were growing up, and you enjoyed them, right?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, and his wife was not Jehovah's Witness, so that was sort of a contention in there. I said, "So you got to enjoy all those things growing up, yet now because you decided to convert, you want to, keep all that from your daughter and whatnot." And yeah, he was. I remember when he first came in and was talking about him being Jehovah Witness and his wife not. I said, "Well, yeah, I foresee your marriage ending in the next couple of years because that's not going to work. When you tell your wife, I will choose my religion over you and the child. Yes, not a good thing." Quite interesting.
I didn't mean to talk over you there, Tom. My bad.
No, it's fine.
Well, the thing with the blood transfusion, that was the only one that I.
Yeah, we had a like hours long conversation about blood transfusions, and he was like saying that Mark's argument is that like any blood transfusion that you would point to say that this was necessary to save the life is not really like falsifiable, because you can't like repeat the experiment, because they could have actually survived potentially without it.
Yeah.
There's no way to run it back without the transfusion.
Mark Thomas keeps DMing me.
Oh,
He
he's
keeps
trying.
trying to.
You know,
He keeps trying to
Yuri.
engage
He's
in the
gonna
Bible
bring
stuff.
you back to the fold, my brother. He's gonna come on
Yeah, that's
back. The
exactly what he's
more is
doing.
waiting. I
He
know.
wanted me. He wanted me to study the Watchtower with him before Sunday. I was playing a game. Don't really care about the Watchtower, but he wanted me to study it with.
That's funny.
He was like, I found paragraphs 8 and 11 to be interesting. What do you think?
I see Rainy is here. Rainy and I got into it this morning. Because I was being an asshole and a disingenuous interlocutor. Here was the hard-hitting question that I asked Rainy this morning, which she couldn't answer. Thought I was being like crazy or something. In British Parliament, or in her political system, of the two parties, the Conservative Party and the Liberal Party, which one is more liberal? It was such a complicated question. She couldn't answer it simply. It really had to be fleshed out.
Both are the same.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I just said.
Well, then why are they called different parties?
You can call shit poop, and you can also call it caca. It's still the same thing.
And also, I was referring to the Labour Party. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Labour and Liberal, two different parties.
Doesn't matter that it was, the question was stipulated of the two parties, the Conservative and Liberal.
They both have the same ideology and believe in the same thing. The only difference that I told you was in terms of, whether one supports the working class more and the other ones are in more support for austerity and the upper class.
That's the only difference?
That's the main difference I'm aware.
So that's the main difference.
That I am aware of.
Well, I don't understand why, BB, you're saying that they're both the same party.
I was talking about Liberal, not Labour.
I'm confused now.
So there's three parties?
It
Well,
does.
there's
It
one
doesn't matter
actually,
if there. It doesn't matter if there's 16 parties. The question was, of these two parties, X and Y, which is more liberal. Now, for someone to say, yeah, but there's other parties, is irrelevant. Irrelevant.
Sure. And the parties you mentioned were the Conservative and the Liberal Party.
Correct.
And I responded to your question.
That they're the
Right?
same party?
Yeah, in my opinion.
Oh.
The Liberal Party. Liberal.
You
Not the Labour.
Oh, is this just like saying like, oh, like Trump is a Democrat, really, blah, 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 like,
No.
they're all,
No.
it doesn't matter who gets elected, they're all the same? Is that what this is?
No, not at all. Yeah, not at all.
It's quite different. That.
Then what are you saying?
Yeah, I don't understand that either, because like when people say Trump is a Democrat, what they just mean is both the Democratic Party and the GOP are quote unquote conservative, right? There's slightly right of center liberal parties. Is that not what you mean, BB?
So what happened with the Liberal Party is that at some point those donuts went into government with the Conservatives. So when you said the Liberal Party, I presume that you were talking about the Liberals, but I guess that you were trying to talk about Labour, the ones that are essentially against. That's what I presume that he's talking about now that I understand the context of the conversation. So if that's the conversation he's trying to have with you, then that's a different conversation. He's just talking about the two main guys, the Labour Party versus the Conservative Party, and obviously there is some differences there.
I mean, I would imagine that the Conservative Party is conservative in respect to the others.
Yeah.
So that would mean any other party that the Conservative Party is compared to, that would be more liberal. It doesn't seem like this is a complex question.
What are the two parties
It
being
is.
compared? Liberal and
Conservative. And the question is, which one is more liberal? Does that seem like a complex question to you, Pogan?
No,
Yeah, it's
not
like
at all.
it's like asking like which one. Like you could ask it to us, right? Like which one would be more liberal, the Democrats or Republicans? And I would immediately respond with the Democrats.
Right. The question doesn't involve an appeal to other parties that may be perhaps even more liberal than the Liberal Party. It would be it's just which of the two parties are more liberal. Like, is there a gas leak?
Pogan checks with the
What's Boris Johnson? What party is he in?
Probably conservative, I would imagine. I
I
mean,
think
well,
conservative.
the more... He's not a liberal, is he?
No.
Doubt it.
No way.
Is
I'm looking.
Rainy here? I don't
He's
even know if she's
conservative.
still here.
I just
I
checked.
don't.
He's
Yeah, I'm
conservative.
here.
Well, let me explain to you how this started, because that's going to really give you a hint as to why she's talking nonsense. So this started because she's saying, oh, don't vote for X or Y because we really need to get the conservatives out of power. So I said, well, isn't Islam conservative? And so now that Rainey was faced with this conflict with her religion and her politics, her brain just like freaked out and she just started spazzing out all over the place. And she couldn't answer simple questions because
They're
she
both
was...
liberals. They're both liberals.
What?
They both have, if he's saying that Islam is against liberal ideologies and principles that maybe might be more aligned with the conservative, my answer to that was they both literally have the same beliefs about homosexuality, general liberal
Who
ideology. So
does?
either way, sorry,
Who does? Sorry, your religion has
conservative.
similar.
So he's saying that because my religion is more conservative, shouldn't I be in favor of the Conservative Party? That was his
Right.
I think stance. Yeah, and I'm saying both parties have the same views when it comes to liberal ideologies that might be against my religion, such as supporting homosexuality and all that other thing. And that the main difference, or the only reason why I would be voting for Labour, is because of their stance on the working class. Right. And my point was that they're both liberals anyway, so
Well,
it wouldn't
also the
matter.
fact that they're more inclusive with regards to supporting the Muslim community, the fact that the Conservatives are not, they're a bunch of racists, as you well know as well. So that would also be a reason why you support Labour, I presume, and I would hope, right?
Well, okay.
Because otherwise, tell me that wouldn't be a reason why you're not supporting Labour. I mean, sorry, the Conservatives,
I don't
because the
think
Conservatives is full of white toffs.
Nah, I it wouldn't. My main reason why I would vote for Labour is because of the working class, the whole idea about the working class and how much they want to support them. I don't really care about race because race is not a major issue here, compared to
And the fact that Boris Johnson is against, you know, the Islamic community and says that women
he's.
that wear hijabs look like letterboxes, none of that worries you.
No, I found that to be funny.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
That's
god.
ridiculous.
That
That's
was funny.
ridiculous.
Hilarity
he's not.
ensues.
So you think an
He's not
individual
outright.
being
Hold
in,
on a second.
you think an individual being in power that directly opposes your religion and people like you being
He
in
does.
the country
He
is
does
funny?
not. He's not outright
If you're
against
about to
Islam because
say
that's
that,
not allowed.
if
But
you're about,
he,
if you're about to say that 1 second, wait, just quickly, if you're about to say, or potentially, I don't know, that Boris Johnson is not racist, were you thinking of saying?
I don't know if he is. Like I haven't. What is racist?
Saying that black people, saying that black people have pickaninny smiles.
Oh, that is racist.
Wait
Rainy,
a
why-
second.
Why
do you
Yes,
hold
Rainy,
all
come
these
on,
wrong?
girl.
Why do you hold all these wrong views all the time?
Wait a second.
Wrong? What do you
If
mean wrong?
if I may, you're saying that
Yo, what up,
Sorry.
Concrete?
Sorry, Concrete, not right now.
Oh,
No,
wait.
let him. No, let him. Why is
Yeah,
it
let
fair
him
that you guys
talk.
ask me questions?
Yeah, but Concrete's not going to contribute. He's just going to sort of muddy
He
the
he
waters.
is. He will contribute as much as you. So
Let him say
point?
something.
Rainy, he's gonna go.
Figure it
He's
out.
gonna go like this. Ah, fuck. He's gonna make noises rather
It
than
would be
contribute.
pretty funny if
That's
that's
so
all he
wrong.
said.
He's going
But
to
let
do
him
that.
try.
He's also
Just
going to.
Just let him
All
try.
right, you got
once.
one try, Concrete.
very simply, is it your position that a politician who might have a antithetical worldview on a particular issue cannot be a net positive to that voter? Is that your position, Pogan?
You're asking
I'll try
me?
to. I'll try to rephrase it. I'll try to
Where did
rephrase
Hogan come into it?
If
Why are you
Why are you
asking?
asking Pogan?
Because
What?
I stuck my neck
Something
out
about
for
himself.
you, Concrete. Come
Paul's
on.
just sitting there eating lunch and he just hears his name. Huh? What?
I'm literally eating a fucking
well,
breadstick, my guy.
he was one
What
of.
has
He
Pogan got to
redirects
do with
the
this?
conversation into something else that just
Okay.
entails
Thank
him and
guys.
something else.
Don't
Rainy.
listen.
So
Concrete.
Guys, don't ever question
Alright.
me again. Like,
I'm
Concrete's
sorry.
objection.
Don't
Concrete's
ever do this
So
again.
Conc-
Sit
in
down.
light of
Concrete's
in light of
Concrete
me,
wanted to bring up logical possibility. Thanks, Concrete. All right.
in light of me supporting Tom, I'd like to nominate myself as the next hand of the.
Oof.
Oh.
Just so you know, Pogan was wanting to get modship this morning or this afternoon. He was saying that he should get mods.
I said I would be.
Ooh, too fast, Pokken. Let's slow her down. Slow her down.
That's exactly what BB said as well. To be fair.
I support Pogan's modship.
Ooh.
No.
I just know
not
that
yet.
with power comes great responsibility. And,
I understand the
he lets and he allows that you know, Pogan is the type of person that just lets his power go through the roof and goes a bit mental.
Yeah, you're unmuted so you can leave, Concrete.
We suck.
People suck.
So, what were we talking about? Like,
God, Concrete.
Rainy.
just
Parliament.
well, she was saying that because they have the two parties have the same stance on one issue, an attitude towards homosexuality, therefore they're both liberal. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's not true.
I also thought it was pretty funny how she went, I don't know if Boris Johnson is a racist, and then BB gave her one quote, and she goes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but I thought the original question, I was just listening while I was running up to the store. I thought the original question was which side is more liberal, not which side is a liberal.
Right. And she was attacked.
Yeah, that would be Labour.
What she brought into the conversation was an appeal to parties that weren't the two parties Tom was asking about, which is irrelevant. Like, nobody, like, you just look at their platforms and you immediately realize, yeah, the Liberal Party is going to be more liberal than the Conservative Party. I don't understand the confusion.
Just insane. So is the Liberal Party there called the Labor Party?
Yeah. So
okay, so Rainy, we'll just give you an easy out. This is an easy
Shut the
out.
flip up. There's a liberal
Isn't there
party
a
as
liberal
well.
party in?
There is.
Yes, we have Labour, the Liberal Party, the Conservatives, the Greens. We have many, many parties. This is a parliamentary democracy here. It's completely different to America.
The Labor Party is
It's
a little
different.
bit bigger than the
So the
Liberal
two
Democrats,
big
right?
guys in comparison to you guys, like the Democrats versus the Republicans, it would be the Conservatives are the Republicans and the Labor
The Laborers,
the Democrats. Yeah.
But conservative over there is a little less conservative than over here.
Okay,
A little less.
let me
Our
just give her.
conservatives
I'm gonna give
sorry.
Rainey an out. Right. This is your chance. Right.
No.
It was all just a misunderstanding. So we'll
No,
just
shut the flip up.
we'll just rephrase the question, and it's just gonna be real easy to answer. Of the two parties, the Conservative and Labor Party, which one is more liberal?
I don't know.
Oh my fucking god, dude! Just like what the? It's fucking.
They're both liberal.
Why are you like
Just so you
this?
get
Why
an
are you
wasn't the
idea,
question. That
just
wasn't
to
the,
let
look.
you know, guys, to quickly just say this: our Conservative Party are of the left side of your Democratic Party. Just so you get an idea. Okay?
Idiot.
Hey, Rainey, if all of my if 99.9%
Shut the
of
flip
my
up, you American.
positions,
I don't want to talk to Americans about this.
You
Just sit down now.
America.
if 99.9% of my
Rainey.
positions are liberal, right? And then another person's 88% of their positions are liberal. Which person is more liberal?
Both are liberal.
You're
My god, dude!
ridiculous.
Just.
Let's
I mean,
look.
you understand why I
Hey,
was going
Logan,
crazy last night.
Of the two major American political parties, the
I don't.
Democratic Party and the GOP, which of those two parties would you say is more liberal? Oh, Rainey, they're both liberal. Do you see the issue in that response?
But they are both liberal.
That's not the question.
Oh, it's more liberal. Yeah, that should be easy, Rainey.
Yeah, exactly. And constantly responding with "they're both liberal." Under normal circumstances, I would just say
No. I think
you're like confused or something.
I think this is the problem with it's an us problem. Socrates, can you just fix it? I'll step away.
Sure. What's the problem? I just heard that we're talking about liberals and like
England, Party of Labor, Party of Conservatives. Which one's more?
I'm only going to talk to a British person.
Well, there's two senses of liberal, like usually socially liberal and like economically liberal. In the UK sense, Labour
We're not
Party
talking. We're talking about socially.
Overall, just overall liberal.
Probably like it's a tough one actually.
What?
It would be the Labor Party.
The Labour Party is definitely more so.
If-
The Labour Party is definitely more socially liberal, but the idea of liberal is.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, definitely. Okay. Done.
Okay. There we go.
Rainey, you agree?
Huh?
Oh my god.
Do you agree?
With the.
Oh my god.
If you're gonna talk to me like that, I'm only gonna talk to a.
I just said, do you agree? What are you talking about? If you're gonna talk to me like
To a
that,
British person.
Like that.
Why would you only?
Hold on. Let me try this again. BB, do you think I said something wrong?
I wasn't paying attention.
Mother.
Oh my god.
This is awful. This is
What's
like
wrong with British people?
These
Actually,
fucking
BB's
British
perfect.
people.
This is like a
Don't.
D
Let's
tier
not be mean to
conversation.
BB.
Okay,
got an
no.
offer from someone named Frank, who's new.
And shit.
Yeah, let Frank partake in the conversation.
Okay, go ahead. Can
He's
you get on
British.
mic? Go ahead.
He doesn't have a mic. I bet you he doesn't have a mic.
Oh my god.
No, he does. He's on mic. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's a mic.
Hey, Frank. Hi, Frank.
Yeah, okay. So, Rainey, of the two major parties in Britain, the Conservatives and the Labour Party, which would you say is the more liberal? Come on, I'm
I
British
think
now,
they're both
so
liberals. I mean,
Oh my
change my
god.
mind.
fuck me.
Well, why do you think otherwise?
Rainey, listen to me just for a second. Do you think of the two major flavors of ice cream, vanilla and chocolate, right? Which do you think is more chocolate? Well, they're both ice creams. Do you see the issue?
Well, I think a better analogy is chocolate and chocolate swirl. Which one's more chocolate?
They're both chocolate. Yeah, that's better.
It's like saying, okay, person X has $10 million and person Y has $10 billion. Which one is more rich? They're both rich.
Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two pictures. They're both pictures.
I want to know why they call a conservative, why they call a left of the
She's deaf.
U.S. left conservative.
Wait, repeat the question?
Just because they're more
Why?
right than most of the other major parties is all.
Well, that's just relative. It's just
Because they're
relative.
more right of the. So your whole country's, all your parties in the UK, in England at least, or the UK, are leftist.
Well, I imagine
We're left of you guys.
The Ben
We're
Shapiro
a little bit.
analysis.
We're left of you guys.
What about
Definitely
everybody
left
that
of you.
was pro Brexit? BB, what were they?
That's not
They
necessarily
are
far right.
Probably
the
conservative.
far right thing, that movement that is sort of coming into fruition, and it's just like pretty nasty.
A new
But
development?
overall, like, yeah, definitely.
Okay, all right. Wow.
Boris Johnson got lost the majority.
Well, let me give you an example.
Well, no, Boris Johnson didn't get a majority.
No, he lost. That one MP that left, I thought was really important.
Yeah.
Shay, let me give you an example with U.S. politics, right? Like when people say the Democratic Party is on the left, or they're a leftist, like it's a leftist party, they don't mean in terms of international geopolitics, right? Because left is construed typically to mean like Marxist or anarchist or something.
Domestic.
Right. So it's relative to the other major party, that being the GOP, which, while also being on the right, is slightly further to the right. But internationally, both the Democratic Party and the GOP are very much center-right parties.
So you got to distinguish between domestic and international, issues, I guess.
Correct. Yes. Like when we talk about leftism in these circles, or we have a debate about leftism, we're talking about things like socialism, Marxist ideologies, anarchism, things like that. Not just being a capitalist with somewhat progressive social views.
I just can't imagine a country with no party like our GOP. That's just, wow.
Wait.
Most places don't have it.
I don't know.
Most places aren't as far right as no other. I don't know about that. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
It's just relative to. I mean, whatever. Rainey, I thought you were gonna talk to someone British about it. Did that just mean like saying they're both liberal? That the same answer was you talking to someone more about it than me?
Well, he just said OF. I mean, that was great.
What?
Rainy, you remember you said to me that you would be interested in partaking in Moralizing Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if we were trying to just converse right now, all of us in this room, and imagine this was a Moralizing Monday and there were no British people, it would be a very short conversation. Really.
About this conversation.
Well, it
I mean,
could be
about this
about
topic,
anything,
I'll only.
darling.
Sorry.
It could be about anything, and one doesn't know what the conversation is going to be on a Moralizing Monday.
No. About this particular topic, I'll talk to a British person.
If BB were to ask me a question about Donald Trump or his policies, and instead of engaging her on that topic, I simply said, I'm only going to talk to an American about this. Do you think that's reasonable?
If that's their personal choice, yeah.
That wasn't the question.
Well, yeah, that's their personal choice.
Personal choices make something reasonable? Literally everything is reasonable then.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
Oh my god.
Muslim is false because it's my personal choice. Is that reasonable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
Oh
god.
god, dude.
Muhammad is not the perfect man because of my choice.
Is that reasonable?
No.
This is a bad turn of events, Rainy. You don't want to be in this hole. This is
How's this bad?
because you just conceded that anybody expressing a view as their personal choice is reasonable. So I could say all sorts of abhorrent, awful shit about Islam and then qualify it with, well, it's just my personal choice. And then you'd have to say I'm being like if I said, for instance, that Islam condones child rape and said that's my personal choice, my personal view, that has to be reasonable according to what you just conceived. Did I get DC'd?
No.
Why have the Muslims have fallen?
Yeah, Rainey, that's not a concession.
Oh, fuck.
Look,
Oh,
Rainy,
fuck.
we can fix this. It's pretty easy. The whole thing about which party is more liberal, it's obviously the Labor Party. It's just that's just true. Now, I think you'd probably want to just say that with your religion, you value certain issues in politics more than others. And for whatever reason, you're against the Conservative Party, even though Islam is somewhat traditionally conservative.
She just leave?
Yeah, she left.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so bad.
Dissonance took over.
Back when I was not nice, happy flower Pogan, I used to be very aggressive to Rainey. But the reason I was aggressive to her was because she would put herself in these situations where she'd make some claim and then it would be attacked and then she would just clam up or she would become hostile to everyone. And while it's hard for me to really be mad at somebody like that, because obviously they have an emotional attachment to their view. They feel like they're being personally attacked. Anytime we attack Islam, it just reeks of dishonor. Like she could have easily gotten out of that by just saying, yeah, I can see why that would be an unreasonable thing to say. What should I have said, or what's a more rational view? But she didn't do that. I thought it was also dishonest that she kept saying they're both liberal in response to the question.
That's insane. That's insane. I don't understand the motivation behind that.
Yeah.
I think she doesn't want to say that she's going for the more conservative party.
No.
That's probably it.
Welcome back, Rainey.
Sorry.
Because whole point is that
No, she's anti-conservative.
right. She doesn't want to say that she's going for the more conservative party.
She's not.
Yeah.
She likes the other party, doesn't she?
Yeah. She's not going for the more conservative party.
She's voting Labor, right?
Yeah.
Why? Oh my
I
gosh.
bet she's voting.
I'm voting Labour because they are a socialist party, and the main reason
That's
I'm
not
voting
true.
for them is because
That's
they
not
support the
true.
working class. Because they support the working class. Okay. That's
Well, look, I don't mean I'm not.
There are liberals who think they're supporting the working class too. It's not a criteria
well, they
for
don't.
socialism.
Right. Look, I don't want to. This is you're sort of opening up a can of worms, so I'll be brief. But just to keep it short, like so long as the Labor Party supports the basic mechanisms within capitalism, it's a stretch to say they're socialist. You know, you're
I think she
reaching a
means
little.
that they have socialist policies that help the working class.
Yeah, I could accept that, right? Like if they believe in welfare.
I think that's what she means. Yes, we do. The socialist party,
Rainey, does
Labour
the Conservative
they don't-
Party
yes.
does the Conservative Party have any socialist policies or views?
They're trying to break them down.
So no, they don't.
No.
They're trying to remove the NHS by privatizing it currently. They believe in austerity, which they've been doing for the past 10 years. They essentially initiated Brexit and caused all this havoc right now that we're under. So they've increased homelessness. So no, things are not very good with the Conservatives.
So then it would in fact be reasonable for Rainey to vote Labor if her primary motivation was just to support the working class in the sense she wants welfare and pseudo-socialist policies. But that doesn't excuse the fact that she had trouble conceding relative to the Conservative Party.
Yeah, Rainey, you could resolve this by saying, let me just show you what you ought to say. Something like,
Look, I think if we analyze both parties and see which one has more um liberal principles, and then we just compare the both of them, and then see which one from that we can conclude and come to a conclusion. But I don't know. I haven't done that yet, so I can't. We can't go with the name alone because they're both, they don't do what
But we're not. Look, we appealed
just
to.
because they're the conservative does not mean that they're not liberal.
No, I
Right? It's just
understand. I understand. I understand that. That's fair, right? You're correct there. But we didn't just appeal to the name. We appealed to the fact that the Liberal Party seems to have more socially progressive views, and B, they seem to support more quote unquote leftist economic policies like pseudo socialist welfare policies.
Wait, the Liberal Party supports those? I thought they
Also,
supported
Sorry,
privatizations.
sorry, labor. I mean,
Please
Oh
say
yeah,
that.
Labor
also,
does.
Rainey,
Yeah,
don't you live there, Rainey?
the Liberal Party does support.
I keep
privatization.
confusing labor and liberal. I mean labor.
Yeah, no worries. It's a confusing semantic thing.
Can't do that when you're talking to a Brit.
I'm not British, so
Oh, burn. Shane not happy.
But Rainey, you live in the UK, right?
yeah, sir.
You don't pay attention to any of your platforms or policies?
Nope.
Oh.
Just the one. The social.
Are you rich, Rainey?
That I care about. No.
So why don't you pay attention to politics?
Maybe Rainey is petty
What if I
bourgeois.
I'm just aware, I have general awareness that the Labour Party does actually care about the working class more than the Conservative, the Liberals, and some other, or UKIP.
Okay. So then you'd agree with us when we say the Labour Party is more liberal than the Conservative Party, right?
I don't know.
How can you not know? Look.
well, this started, I think, because Rainey said,
I don't mean to cut you off, but was there something confusing about the question? Like, we just appeal. It's not the name, right? We appeal to their platform, and we appeal to what they've done recently. Okay.
Okay, so all right. Let me ask you the question then. If you have knowledge, what makes the Liberal Party more liberal than the Conservative
Labour.
Party? Are we talking about Labour or the Liberal? Because like, let's stick to one.
We're talking about the Labour Party because that's.
Well, initially I was talking about the Liberal
let's
Party.
actually let's clarify that before we move on. Tom, your question was a dichotomy between Labour and Conservative, right?
liberal and conservative, labor and conservative. It doesn't matter. But
well, there's a problem. There's a liberal and a Labour Party in England.
well, I perceive them both to be more liberal than the Conservative Party, so it doesn't really matter.
That's probably true.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not true, guys. They were both in government together. Conservative and Liberal became one government. They had coalition government. Imagine if both the Republican and the Democratic Party were in government together as one, and that Donald Trump and Obama were presidents at the same time. That's essentially what happened at one point. So to say that the Liberal Party and the Conservative can't be similar just because of a name difference and one sounds liberal because of the name is not necessarily the case. So there is important difference here.
I think it's important to distinguish between what we mean by liberal in the economic sense and the social
We're
sense.
not
which is
talking about the
progressive.
economic sense. I already said that.
Okay.
Well, look.
Well, you have to review. Look. You have to review the whole thing holistically, right? You're gonna say one is. So you would include the economic.
Holistically.
Sorry.
That's not. Look, just continue.
Carry on, Rainey.
Yeah. So you have to include what Socrates.
Okay. Well, let me pose. Like, I think I said Labour versus Conservative, and you still didn't answer the question. So let's just talk about
stick to that then.
just a second. Labor Party versus Conservative Party. Which of those two parties is more liberal?
In the sense of what?
Social policies, I think, was what Tom was talking about. Are you kidding me?
It might help if you just phrase the way you mean liberal to just mean and just say progressive, because that's usually what progressive.
More
Well-
which? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just. We can say when we say liberal, we just, like he said, we just mean more socially progressive, and pose the same question: which of those two parties, according to that definition, is more labor or conservative?
I guess you can say the Labour Party.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Rainey, the definition of holistically or holistic is in the I don't know why that would apply since Tom had already clarified what he was referring. I don't know why you'd be referring to that. Holistically and virtually.
He's talking about whole, WHOL. Like she was like, you have to look at it complete and not parts of it.
Yeah, it says holistically in a way that is characterized by comprehension of the parts of something as intimately interconnected and explicable only by reference. But we already talked about what we were referring to. So what whole?
What hole, Rainy? What hole are we talking about? Long hole.
Choose wisely.
One hurts more than the other.
You took it too far.
I can see one out on this one. I want to see if Randy figures it out.
Socrates over here playing 4D chess.
4-dimensional chess.
No, just chess with 4Ds.
All right, my bully buster senses are kicking in. I think we've abused Rainey enough. Socrates, what was the out you were thinking of?
One might say that you can't really divorce economics and social policies. That would be like the holistic.
Oh God, no!
Are you fucking kidding me, man? That
Joe,
wasn't out. That's some bullshit.
This is going to turn into a Marxist interpretation of this, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's exactly it.
Rainey is like whole religion is against Marxism now.
Really? How does that work?
Like fucking Allah is the fucking state. Sharia law. Come on, guys.
Well, I don't know if
Are you just saying words, Jerry?
I don't know if Rainey's particular sect of Islam. I don't know what they're actually called. I know there's a word for them, but
do you think the community wants their arms to get chopped off?
Wait,
no,
Yuri, Yuri, hold on. I don't know. To be charitable, I don't know if her particular sect advocates for Sharia law or condones it. But
She's Sunni.
Supports hands getting chopped off, though.
She's Sunni?
Think so.
She supports her hands getting chopped off.
Yeah,
she thinks if I see it, I talked to Rainey. Yeah,
Aren't there
I
like
think
different
I talked
divisions
to
of Sunni
Rainey.
though? Like some are more liberally minded and some
They're
are
all
more
liberal. They're all liberal.
My bad.
Yeah, I've talked to Rainey about stealing things, right? And she thinks that chopping off the hands of someone who steals something is a good way to punish them because I'm not supposed to be.
Really?
Yeah, I'm reading some summaries on Google from like the BBC and such, and they seem to
Rainey knows
suggest
about that.
they seem to suggest that Sunnis, by and large, would support some application of Sharia law.
Wait, hold on a sec, Rainey. Is that true? That you think that someone steals something, a good punishment is for them to have their hand chopped off?
Well, to be fair to Rainey, she said that would
Let her
justify.
talk. Let her talk.
That's justify.
Yuri, relax a little.
If they had no reason for stealing that. So if they're not poor, if they don't need whatever they stole, which is like if it's not a necessity actually, not need, for them, then yeah, that would be the punishment.
No. We're not asking what the punish. No. We're not asking what the punishment is or what the. We don't
Under
care.
Sharia
No
law,
one.
yes. Yes, I would
Nobody
agree with
cares
that.
about that.
Yes, I would agree with that.
You agree? Wow.
Under
That's-
Sharia law.
Guys, effing fuck.
So if
Oh my
if a
It's just
15-year-old
insane, man.
kid just stole a candy bar but didn't need it, you
No.
chop off his hands.
No.
Why not? That fits the criteria.
Yeah, special plea now, little.
Hey,
No, he would have. Look, you don't punish 15-year-olds and adults the same, right?
okay,
No,
an
look.
18-year-old, fine, changes nothing. 18-year-old steals a candy bar.
Even a 50-year-old.
Dude, I don't know how small what they store has to be. So if it's like
bunch
a
of candy
candy bar or
bars.
bread,
No, this is irrelevant. Look,
it's about the
let's
value
do
and how much it's worth.
Okay, hold on. So if you think there are circumstances in which one could steal a non-essential item, but not have their hand cut off for such an act, what's the criteria you're introducing here? Like what criteria are you adding to the existing criteria? Because it seemed like all that would be required is stealing something that's not necessary.
Okay, so let me simplify this for you, yeah? Under Sharia law, that person would be judged. They would try and see what
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think we're specifically asking for your view.
my view is in line with the
Sharia law?
mainstream opinion. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
but Sharia law is not always the same. It differs within sects and countries
Look,
and
you're getting
madhabs, which is particular schools. So it's not always the same.
Rainy,
right?
Rainy, look, I'm trying to be as respectful as possible, okay? Let me just repose the question. You set forth the criteria for cutting off hands when people steal things as they're stealing something that is non-essential. Now, you also said that a 15-year-old wouldn't have their hand cut off for committing such a crime.
I
What
don't know.
additional criteria?
I don't know if they
Who
would be
makes
forgiven.
who makes those decisions, Rainy? Do you know? In a community?
Yeah,
In
qadi.
Sharia?
So the judges, and it's normally it stems from the Quran and hadiths and how the Prophet and the companions practiced it. So that would be looked at as a whole, and then we would take laws from that and see best.
Let's give a thought experiment.
But I am not familiar with all that.
Sure.
But
Yeah. No,
so
I'm just trying to
I
help.
don't think a 15-year-old would get their hands cut off for
But
stealing a lollipop.
but if the person interpreting thought that was in line, you would agree.
Well, people can make mistakes and
That's not
they
the
can make
question,
errors.
though.
So no,
Look,
it's not
let
always
me
the
run
case.
through
No,
the
I
thought
would not
experiment.
always agree with it.
Rainy, I'm
It
just
has to
trying
be
to help you out.
reasonable.
Rainy, I'm just trying to help you. Look, the thought experiment I was going to give is an extension of what Tom just said, okay? Your elder, or whoever is the religious authority in your community, okay, witnesses a 19-year-old boy steal a candy bar from a shop. And he determines that the suitable punishment for that crime is to cut his hand off at the wrist. Now, because he's made that stipulation as a religious authority under Sharia law, your view would commit you to thinking that cutting off the 19-year-old's hand for stealing a candy bar is acceptable. Is that correct?
No.
Why not?
Because even though I have limited knowledge on this, I am aware that the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the companions, which we get the laws from and the practices, would not do that. Would not cut off that kid's hand simply for stealing a lollipop or a loaf of
Why?
bread, etc.
It
Because that
fulfills the criteria
it
you have put forth. It's a non-essential
what
item.
well, I might have misspoke. Maybe I misspoke.
It's non-essential. Look, he's
Due to
not
my limited
starving.
knowledge.
Sure, I'll clarify. He's not starving to death or anything, right? He just wants the candy bar, and he takes it from a
Like,
shopkeeper.
look, like I told you, maybe perhaps because of my limited knowledge, I am not making sense at the moment. Spoke.
I'm asking you to
Like,
answer the question now, though. Like, I don't care what you said in the
yeah,
past.
that would not happen. So no, I would not agree with that.
What do you mean that wouldn't happen?
A person wouldn't get their hand chopped off simply.
So you're
hand
changing the
of lollipop.
criteria?
You don't think that's happened? Someone's stolen
telling
something
you.
small and got their hand chopped off?
Sorry?
You don't think that's happened before?
I'm sure it has happened in some country, I don't know, but I'm saying within the practices of that time around the prophet, I don't think it did happen, and if it did happen, I don't think the prophet would approve of
Oh,
it.
it definitely happened.
We're just asking for
Okay,
I'm
can
gonna
you give me
post a very
example?
graphic
Can you gi-
video of hands being chopped
Well,
off.
well,
in
no,
the
no, 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 no,
prison.
no, 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 no.
Away from your mic.
What the fuck, dude?
That's
Back
not
away
why I
from your
said.
mic.
It
That
smelled blood.
that's not why I
Shit.
said, mate.
Yeah, you can't. That's like a TOS.
The fuck,
That'd be a
dude?
TOS violation. Don't do that.
I
But
don't even
Rainy,
want that in NSFW. It just doesn't. I don't
Just
have really
DM
a
it to
place for it.
Rainy. Just
Well,
DM it to her.
well,
I
no,
think
Why
he was
would
just
you
joking. He
know?
was just joking. He was just joking.
She's a
Rainy,
I
so
wasn't
just
joking.
DM it.
Rainy, I'm gonna.
Can you step away from your microphone?
Yeah,
What
Ix,
is
trying to
you're
help
you're
you.
you're very loud.
Jeez.
Rainy, one more time, because like if I continue with you, I'm honestly gonna get frustrated, and I don't want to go back to my old habits. So, one more time, okay?
Then go away, Pogan.
Well, there's no need to do that. I'm actually trying to have a
Oh, she's
No, don't
getting
talk to me. If you're
upset
gonna get
now.
frustrated, why are you
She's
still
No,
getting
I
talking
just
to me? Don't waste your
told
energy.
you I would leave if I got frustrated, right? I'm currently not. So again, just
Well,
your
at the
view.
moment, I'm frustrated with
Hold
you,
on,
so
hold
bye.
on, hold on,
Oh
Rainy.
shit, man.
Well, I'd like to finish.
Yuri,
then
you're
you
not
can
helping.
you can choose whether or not
Sorry,
to
Tom.
answer. So the thought experiment is as follows: you live under Sharia law. The religious authority in your community witnesses a 19-year-old kid steal a candy bar. He's not starving. He doesn't need it. He just wanted the candy bar because he has a sweet tooth or some bullshit like that. And then as punishment for this, he decides to cut the hand off of the 19-year-old. Now, given the criteria you've put forward, unless you're suggesting new criteria, seems like that 19-year-old kid having his hand cut off for stealing the candy bar would be acceptable. You would find that acceptable. Is that correct? All right. I don't think she's going to answer me. You guys can try.
Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, I want to try.
I actually had this conversation with Rainy a while ago. I can't
Me
believe
too.
you
I've had
know
this
that.
I think Jovan was there when I had the conversation.
I was the one that had it, Yuri.
Oh, my bad. I probably tagged in.
Well,
I sometimes confuse you for me. My bad.
I think Rainy needed like a second to ponder or connect her. So let's. Rainy, are you ready to answer the question?
Now give me 2
Just
minutes on him.
give her a room to breathe. All of you jumping down on her.
Well, Yuri is just not helping. Yuri is actively.
This is ridiculous.
I'm not trying to be.
Yuri, your behavior is not only just not helping. It's actually gonna make her like.
Oh, sorry about that.
So, please stop speaking.
It sounds like you guys are trying to force her to not accept cherry picking in religion. And you can keep trying to say what you're saying, but I think she's going to stick to her guns regarding, rationality.
Well, Shay,
But
the issue.
I don't think you're going to accomplish that today. You're not going to it's something that doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen by ridiculing a
Nobody
person
thinks
either.
that we're going
If
to
that's
change
your
her
attempt.
mind.
I don't. I'm not.
Then what's the point? You're asking her stuff. You're asking her.
Shay, please. There's no need to yell. Look, let me explain.
Am I yelling?
Let me.
Sorry. I don't know how strong my voice.
Sure, go on.
Okay, BB.
If my mic is too strong or my voice is bothering you, let me know.
It's not that. I just. You're right. I shouldn't have told you not to yell. But I just wanted to explain my motivation here because I don't think she's going to change her mind.
Okay, what is your motivation?
My motivation is to very gradually, through conversations like these, change her mind over a longer period of time. Because I think Rainy has demonstrated. Can I please finish? I think Rainy has demonstrated susceptibility to these arguments and these ideas, and given enough exposure to them and given kind treatment, she will begin to understand that she holds irrational positions.
Do you think you're presenting kind treatment the way you're doing it?
Me personally, yes.
Man, no one's insulting Rainy.
Hogan's
Yeah,
not
I
being an asshole right now.
I've seen worse. Okay, that's true.
I mean, Bogan hasn't an enemy, sort of.
Yuri is now Yuri is being an asshole.
I would say they're not being assholes, but they're being a little overbearing and overwhelming.
Well, I think a lot of that is because of the perceived hyena tech, which is mostly just Yuri.
Okay, but to have Rainey want to answer these questions, they're gonna have to let her breathe a little bit and not be
No. Well,
not
that's
attack her with questions.
it appears like that because like Rainey actually doesn't want to answer these. Like she's looking for any reason or interruption to like as an excuse to not answer a question. She actually doesn't want to engage in this at all, probably.
Which is
But
fair. She doesn't have to. It's not.
Nobody
It's
said she
not
did.
Well,
really
that's correct,
something she
but
has to do. But
Thea, I
if
agree.
you guys try and like, if you guys are so overbearing, she's really not going to answer. Whereas
Well,
if you guys are a little bit nicer and give her room to breathe, she might be a little more willing.
Or have it with somebody else while she's listening. I understand what you're trying to do. It works. It works eventually. These chat rooms can work wonders on opening people's minds, but you just have to do it in the right way. And I admire what you're trying to do, actually.
So, Rainey, I don't want to pressure you. You can take more time if you need, but would you like to return to our conversation?
I've realized that my knowledge on this is very limited, so it wouldn't be fair if I just
That's
if I try and protect my beliefs and just say anything that comes out of my mouth. It wouldn't be fair. I wouldn't be a fair representative of Islam to you guys as a Muslim as well, and also it would just be an ego battle for me. So
Yeah, I
I'll come back.
appreciate your honesty. If you want to return to this sometime later, we can. But if you want to
Yeah.
disengage now, that's fine.
Good job, Thea and Shay.
I don't see the good job there.
Well, they just protected
Come
something.
on, just 1 point in the last 5 months.
Rainey, can I ask you just one last question? Since you're done with Pogan. Can you think of either an actual scenario in which the cutting off of a hand was justified and it was a good punishment? Or like can you just think of one?
Sure, a rich man stealing the wealth of someone, so perhaps someone who's well off, he has money, he goes to a shop and steals a bunch of phones. Maybe that would be an example.
Phones? Yeah, I was with you until you said phones. Like medicine, like say you stole medicine from like some dying kids. You know what? Cut those fuckers' hands off. I'm fine with that, but
Whatever this, something that they just be ridiculous for them to steal.
A candy bar.
I don't know if that's like, no, I don't think so.
Promoting tax cuts for the rich.
Tax
Sorry.
cuts. Haha. Good one. I just want to say that I watched a live leak video just now of someone's hand being chopped, two guys' hands being chopped off for Sharia law for stealing.
You're
And
so
I don't
fucking
think
weird. Oh my
anyone
God.
could endorse it after watching the video. It's unbelievably fucked up.
Yeah, we all know. We can imagine that too.
Rainey
Have you
has
ever seen the
never
videos
seen one
of
of those.
people's like heads being chopped off? Those are brutal.
Okay, guys, enough. Like,
Yeah,
we're
this
going.
is crossing TOS lines.
It's also just like kind of weird, like kind of like death fetishy.
I do believe those were terrorists doing the.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I think, like I told Shay, I think given enough time and exposure to these sorts of discussions, Rainey could abandon some of her more irrational positions.
It's
just to make her see, you just to open her eyes, open her mind, and by not ridiculing, but making fun of her and talking down to her and like bullying her and stuff like that, that will turn her against everything you're saying, just for the fact of defense, self-defense, for dignity. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you have to do it the right way, and it'll work. And I totally, like I said, admire and respect what you're trying to do, your final outcome, but you're just being a little too offensive.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's. Look, I don't know if that's. I don't know if that makes me blameworthy or if it's just Rainey being somebody that can't engage in such conversations.
How is she supposed to? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, if somebody, I guess this doesn't matter because everyone's different, but if somebody were to attack my positions, at least now, I wouldn't perceive it to be a personal attack. I'm not emotionally attached to any of my political or theological positions, right? So when Rainey assumes the turtle defense and doesn't want to talk to people, they're just asking her perfectly reasonable questions. I think that's an undesirable quality.
Is that new
You
Pogan?
see, if it comes off
No.
as aggressive, they're gonna go into defense mode. That's basic psychology. You're stupid.
Yeah, and if you tell them that they're wrong, that you think they're wrong, they're also going to go into a defensive.
Yep.
Double down.
Look, the point, I don't disagree. The point is just to say I think it's undesirable that people do that.
Well, the
That's
point is
true.
that no matter what, she's going to go into defensive mode as soon as we start talking to her about it.
Right.
Right, just asking her a question, like, why do you think this? That's on that. There you go, defensive mode.
I asked her yesterday, just completely nonchalant, did you pray today, Randy? And she got upset at me.
Right, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Well, Jovan, in all fairness, though, she was trying to tell you times when they don't pray, and she was trying to tell you in a roundabout why she didn't pray because she was on her monthly.
No, that was after I
she was
pressured her.
embarrassed. Yeah, but I think
You
that
just said it, Jovan, when you pressured her, and this is the theme.
No, I said
Pressure.
after. That was after she refused to answer the
After you pressured her, and that's
No,
what
no,
I'm
you're
trying
not
to explain
listening
to
to
you.
me. You're not listening to me, baby.
I am listening to you, and you're not listening to
She
me. What I'm
started
trying to explain
acting.
to you.
I pressured
what I'm
her
trying
after
to
she
explain-
started acting that way.
Yeah, I appreciate
Well,
that. And
because
what I'm
she
trying to explain
knew.
to you is the theme here, the operative word is pressure, which she gets a lot.
Yep. You're not
But you have to understand, Jovan, because she knew if she said no, then you were going to ask her, well, why didn't you pray? And then she's kind of stuck because she really didn't care to tell everyone that she was on her cycle, and she didn't want to lie and say yes, so it sort of put her in a weird place.
Sometimes you should just get into your skull that maybe there's a reason they don't want to tell you.
Hey, real quick, I don't mean to interrupt the flow. Tom, Declan, BB, anyone else that wants to play, you guys want to do some Overwatch?
I'm playing this other game.
Okay.
How is
I can't right now.
Alright, I'll just quick play with Sunseed then.
How is that not interrupting a fucking flow?
Get him. Get him.
I don't know why you dislike me, but I thought it was pretty much done. That's why I said it.
Oh yes, of course.
Wait, then if you're saying of course, then it shouldn't have been an issue, right?
You stupid little shit.
What?
I think she was saying it sarcastically, Pogan.
It's difficult to tell. She has like one tone of voice.
Oh, no, I don't.
I think you mean one timbre voice.
I can't respond without being mean, so I'm gonna let it go.
Aren't you always mean?
Oh,
No.
fuck.
No, not at
He's
all.
trying, Bun. Today he did a really good job, actually.
Oh, okay, good job. Good for you. Good.
He's off the hate wagon or the anger wagon now.
This is actually a really good sign though, because really relative to what's happened previously, that wasn't like aggressive or rude at all, like that interaction really. That wouldn't even register on the fucking radar. So for that to now be registering on the radar is kind of a shift in.
Pogan doing good?
And with
I see
sugar
what
too.
I see what Tom's saying. Like, there's been such a dramatic shift that like even being that interrogative is now construed as aggressive. Aggressive in the past was like me going, stop over talking me, that whole shtick.
Yeah, like a week ago.
You were scary first time I met you.
like a week ago.
Hogan almost had a heart attack and then had some like self-reflection.
I
on
had a
himself.
near-death
People
experience.
like you as a bully bastard now. Pogan.
Yeah.
He saw God at the his breaking point, and he realized he didn't do things.
What's funny about that, Yuri, is that I like right before that scare, I read a Stephen King book called Revival, and spoilers if you want to like deafen yourself or whatever. But the ending of the ending of the book involves a character discovering what actually awaits human beings after death. And it's like an endless nightmare where they're just forced to work by alien slave drivers and like they have their bodies are slowly eaten, stuff like that. And I remember like briefly falling asleep in the hospital and having that dream, and that was fucking terrifying. So
You know, I kind of hope it's not logically incoherent, but I actually slightly hope that there's some weird thing that happens after you die. Not joking.
I mean,
It would be cool.
I don't
Like,
I don't desire an endless nightmare like that.
Well, he
Yeah,
said
I
something
wouldn't
really
either.
cool. Nightmare wouldn't be cool.
Yeah, so like I would consider something really cool, like if you're like feel like you're constantly falling in like this black void, and there's literally nothing. You're basically dead. You don't have any really experience because it's like pitch black, but you feel like you're constantly falling. That would be pretty cool, right? But I don't know why that would be cool to me, but that would just be like cool, but probably not.
You said cool about 9 times there.
Sorry, yeah, I got too excited.
Probably not.
Just falling endlessly. You don't have any experience. You can't see anything. It's just pitch black, but you just feel like you're falling down like this.
That's not what happens.
I know that's not what happens when you die.
That's not what happens.
Shay, you're being a little aggressive.
Yeah,
Sorry. I
Shay, come
just-
on, Shay, listen to me very carefully.
I'm sorry, I'm
Okay?
talking.
Oh, Pogan's getting me again.
Bullying isn't tolerated here. So could you just politely respond to me by saying I agree to the anti-bully pledge? Thanks.
I totally agree to the anti-bullying pledge.
Thank you.
And another bully busted.
Good job.
Damn.
1 point for Pogan.
Get wrecked.
Yeah.
Does that mean I have to be nice and
And I
polite?
was a bully buster.
Yes,
I disagree. I disagree with Pogan.
You're a bully.
I'm not a bully. What are you talking about?
Oh my
He's
god.
saying you were in the conversation.
Oh, fuck, man.
To be fair, you kind of were. So I'm going to ask that you also agree to the pledge here.
Oh fuck!
All right, now don't get abusive.
Now you're just getting a little wild.
Are you being? We are being a little aggressive, Poke. Maybe we should back it up. Back it up.
He's going crazy with power.
No, I'll step
There
in.
it
It
is.
was all just
There
a
it is,
ruse.
boys.
Okay.
Busting
it's cool.
bullies a little too aggressively.
Yuri, I'll step back, but I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you and you're a great community member. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Pogan.
What do you like the most about Yuri?
Probably when he says man.
Oh, okay. So just like some little vocal things he does. Okay.
Well, that's still a positive quality. Like I would be sad if Yuri left.
Yeah, I was expecting something more substantive. You know.
I think Yuri, for his age especially, is extremely well versed in philosophy and theology.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
He is pretty smart for his age.
Wait, how old is Yuri?
17, I think.
Old enough to be your dad.
No,
Yuri.
I'm older
Oh,
than him.
Does that count as bullying? I'm not sure.
No, that might be a
little bit
quip.
bullying. Yuri, quit
I
bullying.
am older than Yuri, so I don't know what kind of fuck thing you're thinking about, but okay.
What?
There's some possible world that exists,
Bun,
Bun,
calm down.
where I am your dad. You do realize?
Little bit aggressive, Bun. A little bit aggressive.
There is a
Don't you
possible.
hear my
I
calmness?
actually am your dad. Haha. I got you.
Bun, don't snap on us. Just take it
Plot
easy.
twist.
Bun, give me a Godfather impression.
Oh my god, yes.
Please.
Yes.
Godfather?
You've never seen The Godfather?
You have to give her a line. I'll give you the line, Bun. The line is this. You
Just link the video because that way you can
come
get the
to
tone.
me on the day of my wedding.
That's not.
That's Russian. I don't know what I'm doing.
God.
This is why I said just
That
get
was
the video.
horrible.
Just write it for me.
My daughter's Odin, you just lost a lot of social currency.
Yeah, you just.
I haven't
Can we
seen
get
the
a mute
movie in
on
a
Pogan,
while.
That's ban worthy.
No, just mute him for an hour.
Just give me a sentence. in
Are we allowed to
I'll give you
the
the.
bully
So
Kogan?
wait. So 1 second. I'll give you the sentence, and then just you're supposed to like give an old Italian mob godfather impression. So the line is, "You come to me
No, you
on
need to
this."
write it down. I do not have
Oh.
good memory.
Oh, well, okay, then somebody else has to do that because I'm in a
You
match.
come to me on the day
Just
of my
no,
precious
just
wedding.
link a
Oh
video
my
of the
god.
clip.
No,
Yeah.
you just need to fucking write it down for me.
Come on, guys, it's not a rush. You'll get it done. Just give her like a